Welcome, everybody, to the show. Welcome to Hollistics. I am your host, Hollis Mahady, and it is a lovely Monday here. And I've been looking forward to this show. I have a very special guest on tonight. And first, I just want to say hello, everyone. I hope everyone had a good weekend. Last week, we had two wonderful guests. We had Chris, that was Monday. And then we had Jessica, our author, on Thursday. And such good shows. I'm going to be re-airing them. I haven't had time to do it, but I'm going to cut up all my little clips and put the teasers out and do all that stuff. But honestly, because I keep it real here, we got a bit of a panic when we came home. I was ready. I was on time. And for the first time ever, I went to go on StreamYard. That's, as you guys remember from my dating of my streaming services since episode 1. We are on episode 26 actually tonight. Can you believe it, guys? Look how far we've come, or I've come. Yes. And we've come. And I got home and we went on to go on and it said, there's like 1,040,000 users. It's very busy right now on StreamYard. Try again in a couple minutes. I'm like, what? That never happened to me before. So we're trying and trying. I'm like, but the show must go on. And everything worked out as it does. Sometimes you just got to let it flow. So, yes. So I'm very excited to be here tonight. And I'm not going to talk too much because I could talk for a long time. And we have the wonderful Jason backstage. And I should have asked him this and I forgot. I hope I'm pronouncing his last name because to me, I keep saying Foersch. So I'm hoping that's right, but he's going to clarify. And then we'll definitely, maybe I'm not saying it right, but we're going to find out in a couple minutes here. But just to do a little housekeeping, I like to do in the beginning of the show, get things in order. This is Hollistics. And again, I am Hollis Mahady, your host. Up on the corner there is my QR code. I do take tips. Like I always said, I was a bartender and a waitress for many years, and I would pour a drink and I would always get $1. So here we tip support the show. That's what I say. So you'll see what that QR code is there in my website right there, hollismahady.com. I'm very excited. I spent the day in the music studio today practicing, and I have so much new footage I'm going to post on my Buy Me a Coffee for my members only, songs that I have never played for anyone yet. Because as you guys know, I've talked about it all last week. Friday's my big day. My first single is coming out off the new album. It's going to be on all platforms, Spotify, the whole shebang. And it's been a long journey. So from Hollywood to Cleveland, Ohio, and a million places in between, but covers my first single is coming out on Friday. So more on that later. But we're going to get into our first guest, our only guest, the most important guest. He's coming on. And I want to say a big shout out to Jamie, our mutual friend who introduced us. Jamie, I've known since college. We lost touch over the years. And he reached out to me. He said, I have a very interesting guest. I think he might be good for your show. And again, he's going to explain everything. Jason's going to tell us his story. But Jamie said, he introduced me to Jason. We just talked a little bit. And he told me about his story a little bit about, his road to finding God and going through a lot of addiction and trauma. And again, he's going to speak about it. But I said, I like those kind of guests come on the show and they tell their story. And it's always, I think it's important to tell those kind of stories, especially ones I love. I've been through a lot myself. I mean, it's life, right? We all have. So stories of people picking themselves back up off the ground or, getting through these really adverse situations, very hard, difficult situations. I mean, that's what my whole album's about. That's what my song Covers is about on Friday that's coming out. It's about picking yourself up when you're at rock bottom and trying again and getting back up. And how do you find the strength? And I know from my own experience, what got me through my darkest times was God and spirituality. And I talk a lot about ego on this show, the problem of ego in the world. Because to me, ego, I heard this a long time ago and it always stuck with me. Ego, to edge God out. Ego is self. And I think I always say greed is the biggest problem in the world, but ego is. Because when people are so small, we only think about ourselves. That's the problem. In the world, there's so much hurt and people hurt each other because we're not thinking in the bigger picture. I always say me to we. So it's very exciting to have a guest on like that who's, he's self-aware and not a lot of people are. Sometimes we go to our lives and we have problems, but no, not a lot of people maybe say, maybe I'm part of the problem. So he's a perfect guest because that's what we talk about here on Hollistics. So I'm going to check into the chat room real quick, say welcome. Oh, there we go. Jamie's in the chat room. I hope you were here for 2 minutes ago. Big shout out to you because you introduced us. And Miss Kill Chris is in there. Hey, Hollis, happy Monday. I thought it said happy birthday. I was like, oh, it's not my birthday yet. My birthday's in August. But happy Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. We're off to a good start. It's going to be a good week. Hope everyone's going to have a great night. And without further ado, I think we'll bring our guest up on the stage. I'm doing good. 7:05. Yes, I think I got through everything, right? Yep. There's a QR code. Remember, guys, if you want to join, tip support the show. Hollis Media, I do this because I love it, not because I get paid, because I don't. But these things cost a lot of money. So if you're feeling generous, go ahead and check it out. But here we go. So Jason's backstage. He's all smiley. You ready, Jason? You're good to come up? Jamie's waiting for you. You have an audience out there. And by the way, if I didn't say it, we are streaming right now on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We are on the Rumble. We are on Facebook. I still haven't got my account back yet, but we're on my account. And welcome Aaron into the room. Aaron says it's going to be a great show. You know it, brother. I'm so happy you're here. It's always good when you're here. And I hope you are healing well. And I love you. So, okay, here we go. We're going to bring Jason up to the stage. And I am producing my show, as you guys know. So we're going to see. He's going to come on and then I'm going to format it and see. Okay, wait, no, I got to get my applause button out. Hold on, Jason. You got to have applause when you get here. I do it myself. Hollis, pull that applause button up, please. Pull it up. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's ready. Here we go. Here comes Jason to the show.
Hi.
Hi, Jason. Welcome
Hi,
to
how are you?
Hollistics. Welcome to the show.
Beautiful. Thank you for having me. This is
You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy. We have a mutual friend in the chat room, obviously, here. Jamie's in there checking in.
Oh, James.
Jatrusa. He says, let's go.
He's a good man. I love Jamie.
Aw, I never even actually asked, but how do you know Jamie? Was that from a long time ago? How'd you guys meet?
We grew up in the same area, same school.
Are you from Pennsylvania then?
Yeah, I'm from originally from Pennsylvania. Yep, the Sticks.
Oh, well, me too. I'm from Scranton,
what part?
Pennsylvania. Scranton.
I'm from Pittston, Harding. I grew up in Harding.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No way. Oh my God. Well, that makes sense then because Jamie, I met Jamie at East Stroudsburg University. That's where I went to college.
Oh, I used to go there, but I didn't go to class. I just went to hang out.
Oh, okay. So you're still
I was at the after parties.
Yeah. Who knows? Hey, we might have crossed paths. You never know.
Yeah, maybe.
We probably did. Oh, yeah. That's funny. So are you still in Pennsylvania now?
No, I'm in Davie, Florida.
Oh, smart. You went down to where it's warm. Oh my God. Pennsylvania. I have a couple of Pennsylvania friends maybe in the chat. My friend Jess comes in the chat sometimes. She's from Pennsylvania. Cool. Yeah. You were smart. It's warm down in Florida.
Yeah, smart. 21 years now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Good for you. Okay. Well, we'll get into how you ended up in Florida, but it wasn't always sunshine and rainbows. It doesn't sound like.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I guess it's not for everyone, but yeah.
I agree.
So let's get into it. If you want to tell the audience or just, a little bit about yourself and, I know for you, we talked a little bit off air, obviously, but, everything that brought you to where you are today. And I mean, I know that's a lot, but maybe more specific. Start off like what inspired you to come on and want to tell your story.
Well, and my name is Jason Foersch. Everyone calls me Foersch. When they call me. It's spelled like that. It's Foersch. I always tell them on the phone. Foersch with an F.
Okay, so almost like Foersch. So almost like Foersch, but Foersch.
Yep, Foersch with Foersch.
There you go. Okay, I'll remember that now.
Yep.
I keep saying Foersch. Okay, so I was wrong.
Okay, nobody can really pronounce it. I moved here a long time ago. I'm 48 years old. I've been down here for 21 years now. In this month, May actually, which is pretty cool. The first week of May, I moved here 21 years ago.
Wow.
I was 27. What's that?
He said it's a whole lifetime ago.
Oh my God. I'm not even, I don't consider myself Pennsylvanian anymore. I'm Floridian now.
Yeah.
I go home to visit once a year. And I can't wait to get out. I hate it. I can't wait to leave. I just can't. I left
Pennsylvania. I hate it. I'm sorry, everyone. Listen, we keep it real here. I don't care. I don't get paid to do this. I keep it real. I don't like I hate Pennsylvania. I love my mom's still there once a year for Christmas. I go like a little bit more because and my husband's dad's down there. We love you, God. We love you. I wish you would just move here. Why don't they come to us?
I'm trying to get my mom to come here. She won't. I go home. It's beautiful there in the summer. That's it.
In the summer, yeah. Any
other time, I just want to get out of there. I just don't want to be there. So came here when I was like 27. I think I was 27 years old when I moved here. Yeah, 20. I'm 48 right now. I moved here when I was 27. And honestly, it was the best decision I ever made. And I know it was a godly move, not subconsciously knowing it. It just happened. I got sober back home. I got sober back home, came here just for change. And I knew if I stayed there with a clear mind, I was a little over a year clean at the time, first time ever in my life. And I knew there was just nothing there for me. I finally had the courage to leave and to get up and change my life. And coming here just changed my life.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but just on that topic real quick about Pennsylvania, like what you said, it's a big, even Scranton, I mean, it's a lot of alcohol everywhere. I mean, it's just like a big drinking place. And it's a very, I mean, again, I don't want to offend anyone from Pennsylvania because everyone has a different experience. People there love it. I don't try to offend anyone. But for me personally, it sounds like you and I know a few other, I mean, it's just, to me, I always felt like a dark energy there. Like it's just, I don't know. It's just, and a lot of alcohol. I mean, I had a lot of alcohol around me. I'm sober. I haven't drinking in like 3 years, but it's always, and also that, and I'll stop interrupting, but like, sometimes like nothing to do. And like you're in this small town and like everyone's at the bar. It's just, there's always, so going to Florida probably was easier, but it sounds like you got sober in Pennsylvania, which is actually harder. So back to you.
It wasn't easy. I mean, I had to, or I was going to die. I came from a broken family. My father, he was a pedophile. He was a womanizer, he was narcissistic. He was a psychopath. That's how I was raised. I didn't know any better. I think he probably got locked up when I was around 8 or 9 years old. And I've been suicidal since then. I was suicidal all through my teens. I didn't know how to talk or treat people. It was all about me. You're speaking when you're opening up the show about ego. And it was all about me all the time. I didn't know how to get help. I thought it was normal to be suicidal. I was angry. I had a bad temper. I still do, but I have it in check. I had a lot of therapy. I wanted to be different. I just didn't know how. And then when I started drinking, that feeling.
Take the edge off.
Takes the edge off. It's like a warm blanket. It's like, okay, good. I feel better now. Now I'm not so insecure. Now, I'm not afraid to do things that I was always afraid to do, like talk to people, talk to girls, hang out with friends, do stuff. I was always afraid to be better. I was always afraid to try new things. I was always afraid to be successful. Somebody might look at me weird if they're clapping and I do something cool. I'd be embarrassed. Very, very insecure. And in my 20s, it just got really bad. I started doing drugs, hanging out with different groups of people because the people I hung out with in high school weren't really drug addicts or alcoholics. But I was secretly drinking by like 10th grade on the weekends, hiding from everyone because my friends were against it. And then when I got my 21, I pulled away from them and I started hanging out with people who are doing drugs, house parties, ecstasy, cocaine. And I was like, oh, these people care about me. These people like me. I felt good. I had no more fear. All those fears were just gone. And it was comforting, and I wasn't suicidal anymore. I noticed when I drank, I was suicidal, not knowing alcohol is a depressant. I did try killing myself a few times. One time was meant to happen. The other times I was a cry for help. I was too much of a coward to do it. I was scared. I was afraid of everything. I walked around acting like a tough guy, and I wasn't. I was afraid. And I hit rock bottom. I hit rock bottom hard. A friend ended up in Alcoholics Anonymous. Never heard of it. And I had no clue about alcoholics. I never even heard of it. I figured my dad screwed me up. I didn't hate God for it. People ask me when I first got sober, 20 some years. I'm sober almost 6 years now. But then when I got into recovery, I didn't get in the recovery to be a better man. I was already a good person. I thought I was a good friend, a great friend. I was just broken. And I didn't know any better. I didn't know nothing. I didn't know how to open a door for a woman. I didn't know how to talk to a woman. I didn't know how to be romantic. I didn't know how to act with my friends. I didn't know how to do things without expecting anything in return. Everything I ever did, it had to benefit me, and that's it, and only for me. And again, I didn't even know that I was acting like that. I thought it was okay. You know, I thought the cops were out to get me. You know, I justified everything I did in my life. I was a complete train wreck. I was a complete train wreck. And to be in those relationships I was in, those poor women, it was just constant toxic screaming, yelling, breaking stuff all the time. I remember one specific relationship I got, and this is before I got sober, before I turned 27. I met this really nice girl. She liked me, and I dated her for like a week, but I wasn't attracted. She was beautiful, but I wasn't attracted to her. And I didn't know till years later I got sober. I thought about that because she wasn't toxic. Wow. She wasn't yelling and screaming. She wasn't an alcoholic. She didn't have issues that I had. So I wasn't attracted to that. And I didn't know that. That's how broken I was.
You know what's fun? It's not funny, but it's ironic right here in the chat room. I want to say hello to Irina Lot. That's her screen name. But that's Jessica, the author that was here on Thursday, and she wrote the book Piece by Piece. And it's funny that you say that because we were talking about on Thursday in her book, we were talking exactly about that, about, we don't need what you just said. Don't even know what a healthy relationship is. So that didn't attract you. It wasn't like the butterflies. It wasn't the nervous system going crazy. Like I need it, like an addiction, right? Like, cause love and toxic, it's the same. It's an addiction. And she talked a lot about that, but
you're addicted to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So hello, Jessica Irene Lott. It's crazy how almost all addiction stories start the same. That warm, comforting feeling, thinking we found the answer. That's what she says. Yeah. Yep. Because same thing. She was here Thursday. She struggles with it. She had her whole story. And I said, make sure you see Jason. So I'm so glad you're here, Jess.
Oh, I'm glad she's here.
And hello to also just real quick in the chat room. Hi, Amy. Amy's in the chat room. Hello. And Aaron's in the chat room. And also Shannon's here. Hello, Shannon and Jason. I like to say hi to everybody. So thank you guys.
No, go on. Yeah.
Yeah. Always here to support. That's what Irene says. I'm going to call you Irina because I'm used to that. That's her screen name. And I'm getting used to Jess. But we call her that. But yeah. So, and Quentin says, hello. Oh, Quentin's also, I know Quentin's sober for a long, long time. Hello. Quentin's awesome. Quentin's a famous voiceover actor. He says, congratulations on your recovery, one day at a time.
Thank you. Thank you, Quentin.
Yeah. Aw. Yeah. So I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah, no. So go on if you remember.
You're never interrupting.
Okay.
This is great.
Okay, good.
Where was I? Oh, I do have ADHD, so just bear with me.
Oh, that's okay. I know. I get all over the place too. Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, long story short, I was dating this. I believe now, looking back, God's plan is perfect, and we take that path that we take, and when we get knocked off that path, it's like a GPS. Yeah. That when you go down that wrong road, there's always another direction to the location you're going to, and that's how I felt with God when I look in the past and reflect on my life, because He always kept directing me back to Him, but I kept wanting to do what Jason wanted to do.
Your way. That's ego, right? That's all self. So, like but you're like a lot of people, and the easy way. Always, you have to learn the hard way, because like God always, God wants it. I feel. To us to be loved, to be happy, to go on the right, but we have free will. So we're going to go do it our way.
You said it, free will. Yes. Yeah. People have this conversation today. Why does He do this? He doesn't do anything. He gives us free will for us to make our mistakes, for us to get in trouble. The devil tempts us. We fall for his temptations. We fall for his lies. It whispers in our ear that don't get up in the morning. Don't go to the gym today. You don't need to go to work today. You don't have to eat healthy. You don't have to be nice to her. You don't have to give her $5. That's the devil just whispering negative thoughts in our ear to keep us from wanting to be better and to level up and to be the best man that He created us to be.
Yes.
So that's what He wants. He wants us to be here, the best what He created us to be. And the devil just keeps trying to chip away slowly.
Yes.
Like He put the fish hook in you, like He did with me with gambling. I had my first 5 years of recovery in Florida. When I moved here, I started gambling. I won $8,000. That will never happen again. He put the fish hook in. I did like a crazy 15-time team parlay. And anybody who gambles knows that doesn't happen. Nobody can pick that. I picked it just real quick, and I hit it. And the devil hooked me. And then now I'm addicted to gambling. And now I know gambling is easy. And now I stopped going to meetings. I stopped hanging out with recovery people. He slowly chips away. Next thing you know, I'm in a bar and I have a rum and Coke. And now I'm down in South Miami buying Coke, crack, heroin, and all the drugs I can think of the first night of relapse. I convinced myself, the devil convinced me in my ear that I'm not a drug addict anymore. I'm 5 years sober. I'm 31 years old. I'm cured. I had therapy in church. I have Jesus now. I'm mature. I'm grown up. I have a job. I have a car. I'm successful. I'm going to college. I can drink like a normal person.
Right. Just
So
one.
I took
Just
it's crazy.
social. Just one. Yeah, right. You're right. Like it's.
Yeah.
But I was talking about it again the other day, and I said, like, I used to, I don't know, like, I was never one of those persons. Oh, and I never could understand. And I always would look at people like, oh, they could go out to dinner and have a wine. I'm like, I would be like, drink to get drunk. I'm like, no, I need, like, I don't know. It was addictive personality, but like for me, it was just like, so for me, it was like, no more, you know?
Are you in recovery?
No, I mean, I didn't
Oh,
go
no,
to
that's okay.
No,
I was just
like,
asking.
no, that's okay. But like, yeah, I guess so. Self-recovery. Like I was, grew up in Scranton. I lived in Hollywood. Let's say I lived in Los Angeles. I was in the music industry for over a decade. So I saw my fair share of, one thing I didn't get into, I was, I guess, lucky in that I never got into drugs, but definitely, I guess, because again, more acceptable social. Oh, why aren't you drinking? You never hear like, why aren't you doing heroin? Why aren't you doing coke? But it's like, why aren't you having a beer?
Why aren't you? Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, so like when I stopped drinking, I had gone to AA a couple times, really, because I was just looking for sober friends. I didn't, it wasn't like I didn't wake up and hit the bottle. But after a while, I found like, I feel like I was always relying on alcohol, and I didn't like the feeling like that I would go out and be like, I need a drink. I need to talk to people. Like, oh, I need to have a.
That's good.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a self thing where I knew it was not good for me, and it always led to bad things. And eventually I just said, I have this new phone and I don't even know how to work it. Stop you. Me and my new phone. I don't know. I went to Android and it's a pain in the butt.
My fiance keeps trying to get me to go to Android. She hates the iPhone. I said, I don't like the iPhone either because it's junk. It keeps breaking and glitching, but I don't know how to use the Galaxy. I try to use hers to go to her apps. I'm like, I have to hand it to her. I was like, you keep telling me, I can't figure it out.
He's confused. So. I've had an iPhone for like 20, ever since I had phones. And like my husband was like, no, the camera's better. This is better. So I'm learning, but it's, that's why I'm sorry. I don't even know how to turn it off. Like, go away. I'm about to throw it.
Yeah, my Heather's trying to get me to go to the Galaxy. I won't though. I can't because I'm just so used to using this thing.
I know.
There's
some good things I found about it so far, but it's going to take some getting used to. But I'm open to change. Don't get too attached to things. Well, you know what I was going to say about your like relapse or whatever, like right when you went back there. But they always say though too, and we talked about this other day, Jess and I on the air. It's kind of like you keep the same even when you think you're healed in a way, like or you like you said you can handle it. Like when you fall back. And she talked about this too. You don't beat yourself up and try it again, because like you're always going to learn something from the last time you fell back. You're going to learn something new that you didn't know, because we have subconscious triggers and things that we don't know. You know what I mean? So it's like layers of an onion. You're still peeling. Like, so how did you bounce back the second time? Were you really hard on yourself? Because you said you were sober for 5 years.
Yes, because 5 years, it was like it's like for me, recovery was like a gambling. You lose, now I want to chase that win. I lost $500. Now I'm going to bet 500. Now I'm down 1,000. Now I'm betting 1,000. I'm down 2,000. Now I'm betting 2,000, and now I'm down 4,000. So it's like a recovery. I kept trying to catch that 5 years, and it took me 10 years to let it go. I was out running for 10 years in Florida, and it wasn't easy. Not full blast the whole time, but a good 4 years out of that 10 were bad, like every day. And I honestly I didn't think I'd be here today, and that's the right hand of God. I surrendered to death 6 years ago. I just prayed that he would take me.
Oh, Jason, well, I'm glad you're here for a reason. You are here for a reason.
Yeah.
And you're still.
And he didn't. Okay. I prayed. I got tired of hurting people, hurting myself. And I couldn't get it. It's like that monster when he listen, I tell everybody's in recovery. I sponsor a lot of people. I
Yeah.
mentor people, and I tell them, listen, this first recovery is a gift, man. I was told that, and now I had to earn it. I had to grind and earn to get back into recovery, beating myself up, and then there's this feeling, this God feeling I had, that hole in your heart that we fill with lust, we fill with drugs, we
Yep.
fill with alcohol to feel better. That's only one size hole, and that's for God. Only God can
Yes.
fill that hole. That's it.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, Jason, I know. Like it's fun. I have a song on my album called "Hole in Our Hearts," actually. But that,
Oh,
yeah. But that it's about like loss and stuff. But really, no, because for so many years too, when I was in Hollywood, it was the loneliest place ever to be. Like I lived in Los Angeles, and when you say you go through things for a reason, and we're looking back now, everything we went through. Even I say our mistakes, where they if you're look at how much you've learned and why you're here and what you're
a
doing
lot.
now.
Yeah.
Because if you my album, I'm sorry to bring it back to me, but it's all related.
No.
But it's called A Comedy of Errors. That's the name of the album because I said, these errors and all these things that we are so hard on ourselves. But when you think about it, the grand scheme, when you really came here through God, I always feel that Earth is a school. And we're learning these lessons of our soul's evolution and growth. And a lot of people here are just not at that. And everyone's at their different journey. That's why you could get frustrated, especially when, you will wake up and you find God. And there's a lot of people who aren't. And it's hard. You want to tell them, like, no, you should do. And certain people
I
are
don't want
just
to shake them.
their own timeline that they might not ever get through this life or whatever. But so are all these things. I never say that they're mistakes if you learn from them. And if you even if it takes a couple tries, because look at you now, you felt so hard again and again. And now you're here, but so we look at our life like, oh my God, I'm such a fuck up. Oh my God, I made mistakes. Why did I do this? Oh my God. But if you don't learn from them and you don't turn it into something good, like you're sponsoring other people, you're helping, you're telling your story. Like if you didn't do all that and you're still, I just feel like these make us who we are. Like you wouldn't be the man you are now if you didn't go through all that. But it's a hell of a journey. And everybody why did I pick this? Oh my gosh, if you think about it, in those weird, did I pick this life? Did I know I signed up for this? What, right?
I can help the people that were in my shoes to avoid the mistakes that I made if they want to. It's again, I knew everything that was a problem too when I was getting sober the second time because I was sober 5 years. I already knew everything. I don't want to take suggestions. I don't want to do it my way, which is I know how to do this program. I know what I need to do. Don't tell me how to do it. I had to hit rock bottom, really, almost death. I mean, I probably died 3 times. Nobody really knows that. There's 3 times that I know that I OD'd. I found myself woken up in my car on the floor, and I'll never forget that feeling when I got out of the car and I didn't know what happened to me or how I got there, and everybody was looking at me. And the girl that was supposed to, I didn't even know she was even with me that night. She found me, and they left me for dead. And she's like, "You were dead." And I just looked at her, and I remember I started screaming at her. "Yeah, for you. What do you mean I was dead? You leave me in my car, I was dead?" And as I was yelling at her, I see a bottle of water sitting across the room. So we were there was a hotel, and I opened the door, and they were sitting there, and I was trying to get the keys for my car. She had the keys for my car. There was a bottle of water sitting 10 feet behind her, 5 feet behind her. And I was screaming, and my mouth was so dry from dehydrated. My head was pounding. My whole arm was numb. I couldn't lift my arm. Half of my body was numb. It was weird. It wasn't functioning. And I remember grabbing that water, chugging it, grabbing my keys, and left. And I tried getting sober that time again, and it didn't last. I just want to keep doing it my way. And listen, the church, the God, the disconnection of the Lord when I had the connection with him that I didn't know that I had the first 5 years, because I turned my life over to Christ at 3 years sober the first time. I was suicidal at 3 years sober. I seriously was going to blow my brains out. I was on interferon medication, old school medication for my liver. I had Hep C. I don't anymore. And I went on this medication, and it makes you suicidal and homicidal. It made me completely insane, homicidal and suicidal. So I stayed by myself for about 7 or 8 months and locked myself in the room. I was sober. I stayed sober the whole time. I just need to finish this medication. I am not in doctors. Like, if you feel these symptoms, you need to tell me, you need to come off it. I wasn't mentally stable to take it. I already knew that, because you have to do therapy and all this other stuff. And I already knew I was a little insane. And I took it. I was like, I just want just to be free of this nonsense. You know, I want to have kids one day, and I want to be telling people I had Hep C. I was embarrassed about it. And that, again, was another godly thing that happened to me. It brought me to my knees. My ego was huge in my late 20s, 30, around 30, 29, 30 years old. I just had a huge ego when I was sober, you know. I didn't think I was better than anybody, but I just thought I was just shit. And I didn't like, I still like doing things my way in recovery. And that medication brought me to my knees, crying and begging for help. And the only thing that I had to feel better was, my last option was to, I turned my life over to Christ. I met up with my pastor, my sponsor, Stevie Boyarski. He still is today, since 2009, where he's like a father figure to me. I met up with him that night. I seen him at a meeting. That's how I met him at Fourth Dimension down here in Hollywood. And I was sick on interferon. I was like 135 pounds. My chest ribs were sticking out. I wasn't eating, sleeping. My fingernail fell off. My immune system was shut down. I was sick all the time, pounding headache. I just hated my life. And I knew it was the medication, but there's only so much pain you can take till you just want to blow your brains out. And I seen him that night. I picked up my 4 medallion that night, and I didn't like him because he was dressed in a nice suit and he had friends, and I was judging him. I'm very judgy. And he changed the meeting when I spoke about, I still remember picking up my medallion, how easy it is to stay sober when things are going your way. But when things are hard times, that's when your sobriety, that's when you know you see your sobriety really stepping up. And he changed the whole meeting, started talking about that. And I didn't talk to him that night. But 3 months later, I called him when I was going to blow my brains out. And he said, meet me here. I met him at the park on Sheridan Street. And he talked to me about God. I said, I believe in God. I don't know. He just, what, do you know who he is? Like, I don't know. I know, I don't hate him. I just don't know him. I know there's a God. I know there's a devil because I know my father. So I totally believe in the devil. And so there's got to be a God. And he's like, come to church tonight. Or this Bible study, not church, Bible study. I went, walked in. And I'm not going to lie to you. I was so scared. I wanted to walk out. I was like, what the, can I curse? What the fuck is going on?
You can curse.
I walked in, and I was with my girlfriend, Amy, at the time. And I looked, I was like, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. They're all praising the Lord, singing, and, you know, and I'm like, this is some real cult shit. It's in the basement of a church. I got to get out of here. But my insecurity, everybody was looking at me, so I had to hide. So I went in the back, I sat, and I sat down, and of course, Stevie, people that know Stevie, likes to call you out, not to embarrass you, just to introduce you. He introduced me to everybody. He met me today at the park. I stayed for the whole meeting, and I got comfort during that meeting. He's talking about the Lord and the Bible, and I don't forget what he's talking about that night, but I remember I got comforted, and he asked me if I wanted to change a new way of life. Yeah. So I went upstairs. It was him, his wife Sandra, Josh, and Amy. And I remember I gave my life to Christ. And my life changed. It was crazy. I was still on the medication. There's a story nobody can ever take this from me. This is how I knew he was real. I was still on the medication. Nothing changed. I didn't realize. I remember it was like 2 or 3 days later I started eating. I don't eat. I can't eat. I couldn't walk. When I walk, I had to sit down because I couldn't breathe. And I was in CrossFit. I was in great shape before I got sick. So it was really humbling for me to go from the top of my class in CrossFit, be in the best shape of my life, to go into this. I had to walk 10 feet, sit down because I couldn't breathe. So the Lord humbled me to him. And when I gave my life to him, it was like, I'm his now. He's going to take care of me. Just eating, My eyes weren't hurting anymore from the sunlight. I was able to go outside in the daytime again. My skin wasn't so pale anymore, and I started feeling good. I was still taking medication. I was supposed to be sick. I started going to the gym again. And I'll never forget, I was in the gym and I was working out in this I was a doctor. He was on the fly machine. And I'll never forget this. He goes, "You're Jason, right? I know you from the meetings." I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "Yo, how are you? How you doing?" Yeah. He goes, "You look good. You're not in the interference anymore." I was like, "Oh no, I got like 2 months left." And he's staring at me. He's like, "You look like," he was looking at me like I looked like death months ago. He's seen me.
Yeah.
And I knew this was God. I knew it was. He's like, "You shouldn't even be working out. You're going to end up in the hospital." I feel great. I know for a fact. He redeemed. He just fixed me, man. So I can just finish off the interferon. And that's when I just became a believer. And that's when I dove into Cross Current. There's a program in the church. I wanted more Jesus. Now, Living Waters, 11-month program, I want more Jesus. So I did that program. And that's why I relapsed. Because I had Jesus, and I didn't know once I play the devil's game, drinking and drugging, I can't play with the devil and have Jesus. It's him or nothing. And that's how I got back to where I am today. I had to surrender my life to him again. And it wasn't easy this time. This time, I got a relationship with him that just blows my mind. My faith is so strong. I know everything in my life is the way it's supposed to be. The doors that open for me blow my mind because I'm an uneducated, barely graduating high school. I'm making a lot of money. I'm going to say I'm making a lot of money, and I'm in positions at work on my company where there are way more people that are more qualified than me. I am one of the hard. I've been a hard worker since I was 9 years old. I grind. But I'm not saying I don't deserve it, but there's people more qualified than me. But he opened the door for me. And like I tell everybody, he's the boss. Yeah. Not him. Not nobody. He's in charge. If he wants you to have that job, you're on that job. And all the men in my life I level up all the time. I'm always growing because of them. I don't hang out with dirty people.
Smart. Like I say that a lot on the show. It's like because we talk about manifestation and the dream life and all that. But I do say, and a lot of people leave that part of the equation. You can't just manifest on your own. You co-create with God. It like God wants. He wants you to be he wants you to fulfill your potential. Yes. He wants all this, but like you can't just say I want a car. Like you have to co-create with God. Like that's why I say that a lot because on these self-help on YouTube, manifest a miracle, manifest this. It's like, but people leave that equation. They think that it's just you doing okay. If I just write what I want and this and that, but it's like when you bring God into your plan and faith. That's the biggest thing. And like you said, when things aren't going good, that's the hardest test. Like you said, just stay sober. Obviously, it's easier when things are going your way. But
I'll tell you what, you just nailed it. I got these people I'm mentoring, and they're like, "Oh, you're lucky." I have some good friends, and I always let them say, "I'm lucky that I'm in my position." I'm like, I got here because of my faith. I got here because I put him first all the time. I got him because I keep giving, helping. But I don't tell people I'm doing. I'm just sharing it now because I'm sharing it with you. This is how I got here. I give more than I can ever give in my life. When I was told 5 years ago to give, when you give and you donate, you make it so uncomfortable that you're like, oh, and I do. So that's what I do. And he's always blessing me. There's a lot of things I don't want to do. I don't want to get her a Gatorade. I don't want to give him $5. I don't want to give him $20. I don't want to, but I know he wants me to. And then you hear, well, they're going to go smoke crack with it. And I'm like, all right, he's the judge, not you.
Yeah.
I'm doing my part. The Lord wants me to give. I give. It says in the Bible, give no matter what. Doesn't matter. I had somebody steal $7,500 off me a couple of years ago. My fiancé, she's old school thug. And I was on a plane when she told me, and I was on my way to Vegas to a meeting. And it says in the Bible, you shall not ask. This is one of the Proverbs. I forget which one it is. You shall not ask back for what has been taken from you. We got this guy's address. We had his workplace. We had everything. And I'm like, Heather, we got to leave him alone. She goes, why? I was like, honey, it says in the Bible, we cannot ask for what was taken from us. Don't ever ask for what was taken away. Don't do favors to look for anything in return. So I live by the Bible the best that I can when I got, yes. I mean, listen, I've been put through a lot of, it was hard, this sobriety. There's a lot of things I had to walk away from. My van getting stolen with like $30,000 in Milwaukee tools in it, paint material. And I walked around the parking lot pacing in circles and circles, and Heather kept coming out to check on me. And I'm completely insane. Like old Jason would have been driving up and down the road. I would have been acting crazy. Anyone that I saw that looked like they were a street guy, white, black, I'm running you over. I want to stab you. Give me my damn tools. And I didn't. Something came over me. I was hurt. I was heartbroken because I worked my ass off. It took me 5 years to get everything that I owned. And I was barely making it on my business because I failed the first 3 years, but I kept grinding and grinding and grinding. And when they took that, it was like a stab in the chest. Like my whole life was gone. And then I didn't ask for help. A very good friend of mine put a GoFundMe in. I made like $1,500 and I bought some tools back. But that night, this is the God part of the story right here. That night, I called Stevie, my sponsor. I said, Steve, my van's gone. And I posted on Facebook the license plate, and I said on Facebook, I said, the devil could take whatever he wants. But watch how powerful my God is. I was like, all right, don't do the devil's work. Cursing at people. The devil is just smiling right now, waiting for Jason Foersch to let the animal, his temper out.
Yes.
Rage on the streets.
Yes.
I said, I am not going to do your work tonight. I'm going to do what the Lord wants me to do and just be faithful and trust him. And then 2 weeks later, I get a phone call about work. To do work at this huge distribution center. And they wanted me to be a lead contractor in it eventually after like a month of being there. And I'm like, see the door he opened for me? I would never get that phone call if my van never got stolen. If I didn't keep my cool, I'd be in, it's just, everything happens the way
oh my
it's
God.
supposed to happen.
Isn't it crazy when you, and like you said, it's not hard in the time, but it's different when you have the faith and you believe, because I won't get into details, but long story short, my husband and I, we bought a house, my first house ever, all this money we spent, like everything we got married, we thought we were gonna have like our first house. Anyway, long story short, I won't get into dirty details because I don't want to offend anyone in Maine, because I have a couple wonderful people that I met in Maine, which that was the only good thing that came out of it. But we lost like so much time, so much money, like, and the whole time, and you think about these things, and I'm like, why did this, like, you try to think, why did this happen? But even though I don't totally know, like at the time, and I swear that always got me through it. I was like, here's a little, very small example, but it's like I had this vanity. I went up there and I got this vanity. I spent a lot of money trying to make my house, like me. Again, it was more like me. I want this house and I want this, and I want to have my room. And I just remember thinking, like, the shit hit the fan. We had to leave. We had to move. This house is still for sale. Like it was totally fucked us up. Sorry. Prior to my bench for a couple, like one time, we're still getting out of it. Then my husband lost his job. Then that everything bad was happening. And I'm just like, at the time, I'm like, but I had faith. I was like, this is all happening for a reason, because we weren't meant to be there, I guess. And because now like things are coming together, and I always had the faith. And even with the vanity, I remember having to sell all my stuff that I had, just like the first time I had some, like, be able to get this stuff, I had to sell it all. And I remember thinking the vanity, and I was like, I didn't want to give away. And I remember thinking, God, something better and bigger will come, because I truly believe. I was like, I don't know why the fuck this is happening. I'm sorry to curse. It's okay to curse. I try not to curse. Right. Sorry, guys, we're getting into it. But like, I remember thinking, why did this, and everything that I had gone through, nothing worked. Nothing seemed to be working, but at the same time, everything, even every bad thing or error, every comedy of errors, every mistake, it's all bringing you to this. You have to be patient. You have to have faith, and things are on God's timeline, not on yours. I had to learn that so long. Like, oh my God, we want it. We want the. I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be a
now.
And I'm so glad I didn't make it in Hollywood. I was this close. Like I could have, if I played my cards right, I probably would have been dead as well. Would have been trafficked, would have been this, would have been that, because I was very close to a lot of like the Hollywood industry. I'm sure you know about like not good.
I'm glad
not
you
good.
said that. I'm with 100%. That's a horrible industry right now.
It's so bad. So I was like,
So
you know
bad.
what? God was always looking out for me, even when I didn't know as much. Like it was really when I hit rock bottom too, when I found more God, and that empty feeling for so many years, it wasn't anything like it, nothing could fill that except spirituality and having a relationship bigger than yourself. I always knew it was something. And I always say this, like, I don't know, it's my philosophy. Like, okay, wherever we came from God. Are we God? Are we part of God? We came here to earth. And as we get here, it's so hard to be a human. It's sad because we're separated from God. We know that feeling of love, that feeling of God. We know it because we get here and we are searching for it. Where is it? Is it in that drug?
Yeah.
Is it in that person? Is it in that? And but how would we know that feeling that we're longing for if we didn't have it before? If that's not who we are, if we're not part of God, if we're not, you know what I mean? How would we come here and long for that? Because for me, it was always toxic relationships too, looking for love in all the wrong places, please. You know what I mean? Looking for love in all these places, and then alcohol, or then drugs, or whatever, you know, food, sex, whatever it is, like that. You're just looking to fill that void. And you nailed earlier, like a lot of people, that's why when people do find God and they find, because only, and yourself too, because we run and we have these, you had a very traumatic story growing up, like, you know, like we don't know ourselves, and we know ourselves, I think, through God. God made us, like we're in the image of God and all that, you know what I mean? Like we run, and we distract ourselves, even working to everything is all. And I found myself doing this all the time. I'd be like, everything I would be distracting myself. Oh, I have to get rearranging the room like 100 times. I have to do this. Also, I wouldn't sit with and get to know yourself, and you're like you're always stimulated by everyone else or filling something or a void. And it's like, and it takes a really brave person. But again, maybe hitting rock bottom. Not everyone does, because some people are in their comfort zones. Like they don't hit rock bottom, so they don't even know. And then, you know, but it's just, I don't even know what I'm saying, but you know what? I don't know. I just get excited. It's nice to talk to someone who understands. And there's a lot of people in the chat room here. Let me before I get excited. It's not often you meet the people who are really like, who are self-reflect. Like, I don't want to say all guys, because a lot of girls are sometimes more emotional or whatever. But like to meet someone who's like aware. You have a powerful story. It's awesome. Okay, so let me miss some of these comments here. Irene says, this was earlier, my thing was always, why would I just have one? What fun is that? Yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
Right?
50.
That's my mentality. Like, what's the point? It tastes like crap. It's like, and it was always like just numbing. Another thing too, for me, was just like, I found a lot of people to me boring. And I like to talk about deep things. And like, so I would just be like, kind of, you know, when you drink, your inhibitions, that's why all of a sudden, you're so funny. You're not funny when I'm sober, but now all of a sudden you're funny. Like, you know, or like you kind of, I like the deep questions and like God, like, but you just be like, you be around people. I'm just like, then you grow out of it. I wasn't into it. Like, you know, okay. Quentin. Yeah, it does. But not everyone outgrows it. And that's the thing. Like when you have a sober life, all those people go away. You know what I mean? Quentin says, amen. God's will be done. Aligning with his will is the challenge. We do it together, and yet alcohol is drug. Yeah.
Yep.
This was from a while ago about the iPhone. Yes. Oh, she hates iPhone. I used to love it, but I hate Samsung now. But I need to.
I'm reading these comments now. They're pretty funny.
Let's see what either. Exactly. Okay, that's just okay. Let's see. Liz says, addiction doesn't always look like chaos. Sometimes it looks like functioning, smiling, showing up, and quietly drowning where no one can see.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what makes it so dangerous and so misunderstood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Timothy's in the chat room. That's Mug Institute. He says, God love you, Jason. Hack says, these are maybe some of the people you know, because these are new for me in here.
There's some of my friends in here.
Oh, good. Well, thank you for bringing it. I'm glad you guys.
Liz, Pack, Bon, those are my friends.
Liz says God's still working on your story. Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, he ain't done with me. I already know. I already know my sky's the limit, man.
See, it's true. They always say with God, anything's possible. I mean, these are things that are true though. That's not always easy, and he's not going to make it easy, but like he wants the test that I think, like you always say, it's having faith. The bigger thing when I was talking about Maine and coming, but I'm so happy. I'm so happy it all went the way it did, even though it was horrible in the meet. And then we're still kind of like, oh my gosh. But we're just like following that path because I said he brought us there, but then all of a sudden, or maybe we brought us there. It was more of us trying to go there, like our thing. And then God was like, no, this is not for you. And everything just like that got us out of there as fast as we went there. And we're still
shut down quick.
Yeah. When it's not
down real quick.
When you can let go of that control, because you said that's ego, right? We're always trying to control things ourselves. Like you said, Jason's way. And it's just like, no, like co-create. Like it's okay. Yeah. Have visions. Have, if you want to have goals. Sure. But like, there's always, you're not really in control. Now, are we? I don't think.
Never. We think that we are.
Right. No. Liz says he's amazing and makes understanding Jesus so easy. The moment I accepted Christ in my heart, led by him, was profound. Aw.
Thank you, Liz.
The truth is said. Amen.
My son too, man. He's huge in Jesus, and I never pushed that on him. That's how I know God is just amazing. And he told me he's seen Jesus, and I believe he told me the story when he was 5 years old. I recorded it and saved it, and he told me, how he's seen him in church when I was in church. He was at the daycare. He was warm. He made me smile. He made me feel good, and he was this big, huge, bright light. And I was like, wow, like I couldn't, like, he's not gonna make that up. He doesn't know. And my son, I have my son is with my ex Maria. She's my best friend today, and her husband is a very good friend of mine. He's like my brother. I told him that. I told him that over time. He's like my little brother, my little big brother, but he's my little brother. And I didn't like him at first. And God or me and Maria didn't get. Trust me, when we broke up, it was a nightmare. And it was all me. It was my fault. I was just a horrible person. I didn't get what I wanted. She wasn't acting the way she wanted me to. He wasn't. They weren't. People weren't. And when we thank God, that relationship broke up because we're so much better off as friends. Like, I love that she's my best friend, and I love the relationship I have with Simone, her husband, and he's an amazing father to my son. He's a great stepfather. And Heather downstairs, like, God's plan's so perfect. The woman downstairs, Heather, she's an amazing mother to my son too. So he has all these amazing people loving on him. And there's no toxic. We co-parent perfectly. If he's acting like a knucklehead, she'll call me or I'll call him. How do we handle this the same way in both households? It's just God has to be in the picture for everything to work. I have friends that are always arguing. It's you. Why don't you just try and say, hey, how can we fix this? I just don't. And like you said it about 20 minutes ago, I want to shake them. Just listen. It's so simple. The pride and ego. If you could just lose the pride and ego and stop pointing the finger and stop blaming people for shit, you can co-parent and raise this kid so he's healthy. I have a beautiful boy. He's got a gray head on his shoulders. He loves Jesus. He loves the Lord. I don't talk to him about Jesus. He asks me questions, and I love that he does. And he's just such a blessing in my life. I'm not gonna lie, he's the reason. There's only a couple of people that know this because I used to be really ashamed of it. He's a big reason why I'm alive today. And not because he's my son, he keeps me alive. I'm not one of those, you keep me driving. No, he really did save my life. I was on my deathbed before I got sober this time. And he told me he asked me what he wanted to be for when he got older. And I said, Brody, he loves dinosaurs. He's only 5 years old. It's embarrassing, and I'm going to say it anyway because I know I'm not alone. And I hope this can help somebody. I was partying all night the night before. It was during COVID. It was 2020. My sobriety date's October 10th of 2020. 2011 or October 11th. October 11th, 2020. And it was about 2 months prior to that I got sober. I was already done. I just pray to the Lord, please find somebody to take care of my son the way I was raised as a sober man. And I prayed about it all the time. And I said, just let me die. Just let me die. I even tried doing stuff to die in my sleep. And I kept waking up. And the one day, and I feel bad for her, she would drop him off because she had to go to work. She had no, so she dropped him off at my house. And the look in her face of disgust. And I hated myself when I used to look at her and see her looking at me like that. I'm like, I felt bad for her. She probably doesn't know it. I felt bad for her knowing that she had dropped him off and my disgusting, around her disgusting, supposedly man. I was a junkie. And he said to me, hey, Daddy, you know what I want to be when I get older? And I'm laying on the couch. I'm half asleep. And I'm like, what do you want to be, Brody? You want to dig up dinosaurs? He goes, no, I want to be a doctor so I can take care of you. I got up off the couch. I ran to the bathroom. I broke down. I prayed on the toilet. And I said, Lord, and I meant it, and I'm a man of my word. I will serve you till the day I die. I will give. I will help. I will faithful. I will, whatever doors you want me to walk through, I'll run through them. Help me get sober so I can raise my son.
Oh.
And a couple of weeks later, a month later, I finally got sober, and I've been sober since. But when I got sober and I got that daylight, I've been diving in the recovery, the Bible, meetings, giving, helping, service. I never say no to service. I got a phone call in January. Do you want to go to Africa? Absolutely. You're going to miss the Super Bowl. I said, do you think the Super Bowl is paying my bills? Is the Super Bowl giving me this beautiful home? Is the Super Bowl giving me my beautiful family? Yeah. Fuck the Super Bowl. And I said that. Yeah. I said, when are the tickets? He goes, we're leaving in a couple of weeks. I said, all right, let's get the tickets. The next day I bought the tickets, went to Africa. We're trying, now we're starting a charity over there. I got a group of people going over with me next February. There's a village over there. I like to adopt a little girl over there. It's not going to be easy. I don't think I'm going to be able to, but we're trying. I keep praying about it, but we'll see. So that's what's been going on with the Lord's doors opening, and I just keep going and just keep going through his doors. He just keeps blasting doors open, and I just run through them just like I promised him I would.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Hey, Jason, listen, we're going to take a little break. I'm going to run to the bathroom because it's an hour and I've been drinking a lot of water, but are you cool to stay and chat a little? I feel like we're just scratching the surface and we want to take some questions in the chat room. Are you cool to stay a little bit longer? Yeah. Hey, listen, I've done shows. I'm not saying we have to. I talk and talk, so I could go on for hours. But I just feel like we're just getting into some good stuff. And I want to hear a little. I have some more questions too, and I have a couple questions for you. I want to hear some more and take some questions in the chat room if we have, because I haven't been up on my chat. There's a couple here, and you guys, put your questions in the chat room. I want to make sure I respond to everyone's comment when we come back. I'm just going to run to do my little break, do a little commercial at the top of the hour, and then we will be back with Hollistics, Hollis Mahady. I'm Hollis Mahady. Jason Foersch, not like
Foersch. There you go.
Like, not a Porsche, but with an F, because I want to also make sure we get your information out there. If people are like, how they can contact you if they need help, you know what I mean? We'll get into all that. So let me just do that. So let me pull up Hollis, pull up your commercial there. Oh, and you know what? I play this Dr. Wayne video just because it's the minute and it's my longest video, so I can run to the bathroom quickly, and then I'll do another little couple commercials, and we'll be back in 2 minutes. But yeah, you might like Dr. Wayne. Do you know who Dr. Wayne is? No. I asked Irene that the other day too. No, it's just on my journey, he was one of my like early people I found. He was always inspiring. He was very awesome. God. He's passed away since. I loved him though, but he was one of my early people who like got me when I was questioning life and like, oh my gosh, you know how you find certain things before found the main guy, so but yeah, I'll play him and then I'll be right back. You might like him. You
got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right, guys. Okay, good. We'll be right back here on Hollistics with Hollis Mahady, and we are talking to Jason Foersch. Be right back, guys.
The next principle I call don't die with your music still in you. And who better to quote than Thoreau right here in Concord when he talked about some of us hear a different drummer and we must march to the music that we hear. But all of you, everybody watching, everybody here in this beautiful parish, all of you have some music playing. And all of you have a heroic mission. There's no accidents in this universe. We all show up here with a purpose. There's an intelligence that is a part of everything and everyone, and all of us are connected to it. And too many of us are afraid to listen to that music and march to it. You out there, I know you have a book you wanted to write. I know there's a composition you wanted to compose. I know there's a song you want to sing someplace. Maybe you want to raise horses out in Montana. Or maybe you want to open up an ice cream shop on Cape Cod. Who knows what it may be. Maybe you just want to travel and see the world. Maybe you want to go into a relationship with someone but you've been afraid to, but your heart says it's the right thing to do. All of us feel something. And in Leo Tolstoy's famous novel, The Death of Ivan Ilyich, he asks this question that would be terrifying to me. He says, as he has his accountant from Moscow lying on his deathbed, contemplating the horror of this question, what if my whole life has been wrong? I've known what my music is. It's playing right now.
Are you enjoying the podcast? If you'd like to support what I'm building, you can buy me a coffee. Every bit of support helps me keep this podcast going and release my music independently. You can leave a one-time tip or become a member for a few dollars a month and unlock exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage you won't find anywhere else. Just visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis Mahady or scan the code you see on the screen. Download your free copy of The Reconnection Movement today. Just head over to my website, www.hollismahady.com. Go to the podcast sections, scroll to the bottom of the page, and enter your email to get your free copy instantly. Now more than ever, it's important that we reconnect and support real human creators and real people. Need some new tunes to listen to? Why not try the Hollis Mahady Music Collection? As I move towards the new, I'm closing an old chapter with gratitude. To celebrate the new music on the horizon, I've gathered my complete past collection and made it available all in one place. The collection includes 2 full albums with my previous band, Love Zombies, Passion Fruit, and No Slow songs recorded live at Abbey Road Studios, the Be Honest EP with Love Zombies, Hollis original songs, Hollis cover songs, a bonus Christmas album. And this collection represents the journey that brought me here today and the doorway into what's next. To purchase the music collection, head over to hollismahady.com and go to the store. All funds raised go directly towards promoting and advertising my new album on my own label, Voice of Freedom Records. Thanks so much for supporting independent music.
All right, everybody. There he is. Back to the show. Back to Holistics.
There we go.
To Holistics. I'm Hollis Mahady, your host, and we are here with the lovely Jason Foersch, who's telling us a very incredibly inspiring story. And we're going to head over to the chat room here. And a little birdie just told me, which is a good news, we are featured on Rumble tonight, which means a lot of people will see this. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Amazing.
So, yeah, so we're going to be replaying it. We're going to be replaying it, and getting this story out there. So let's go up into the chat room because I said I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so pick up. Shannon said, beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Jason. Aaron said, you chose to obey God and he blessed you and you let God order your steps. Aw. And Aaron also says, Aaron's a great friend of mine. Remember I said about Maine, which I wasn't really sure why that whole thing happened. But, you know, we met some wonderful people and Aaron is one of them. He's a man of God, like and his wife, Amy, of course, and his son, Aspen. Aaron is one of those people. When I met him, he was so talk about people giving without asking for anything in return. Because, you know, we live in a really not nice world. And you know,
No.
you all the time, like for instance, my husband, we run this radio station, Voice of the People USA Radio and Television Network, and we do it out of our own pocket. This is not funded by anybody. We don't sell, like, you know, we tell the truth. We tell stories that are in our heart. Like, you know, it's not just someone paying us to say whatever, promote this or do this. We're doing it out of our heart, you know, and we try to get, you know, people to help us and come and do and it's so catty, it's so mean. And well, what are you gonna do for me? There's never one of those things where let's help each other. You know, it's easier. Well, yeah, I could help you, but like, ego. It's all ego. Well, what can you do for me with? I mean, that's the way of the world, you know?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it is rare when you find people who actually really do live by that. Like they're not asking, well, what do you got in return? What are you going to get? What am I going to get from
What
you?
am I going to get?
And it's just like, it's so many people like that. But anyway, Aaron is in the chat room and he is not like that. And he's one of those really real good ones. Amy says, amen to you. Quentin says, this is my meeting for the night. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Liz says, that's the test. It's easy to believe when everything is okay. Yeah. But praying from the heart for understanding is a part of getting to know God. Yeah. And having that faith. I mean, faith is the biggest thing, I think, you know, to hold on. Jatrusa says, Hollis for president, loving this podcast. So great to see you again. Aw, thank you. Thank you, Jamie. You too. We haven't seen each other since college. I just remember.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. My gosh, where does time go? No such thing as time.
Fast.
Right? Liz says, for parents struggling silently, what is something you wish someone had told you sooner, Jason?
For parents struggling silently. That's a good question. My God. I mean, even if somebody told me to do something sooner, I probably wouldn't have done it unless I thought it was a good idea for me, which means it probably wasn't a good idea. Probably stick with the winners. You know, somebody told me to stick with the winners. I mean, by me saying that means surround myself with clean people. And I'm not talking about sobriety clean. I mean, people who live clean, you know, who want to be better. You know, I was told not to be if I'm the smartest guy in the circle, I'm in the wrong circle. And I laughed when someone told me that because I'm not the smartest guy anyway, so I'm always going to be in a good circle. It was just a stupid little joke. But I think surrounding yourself around good people. If I have always, from the day one since high school, I had great friends in high school. I really did. And it's funny, now that I'm thinking about that, I faded away from that. And I started hanging out with the kids that were drinking. And then I started hanging with kids who were smoking weed. And now I'm hanging out with people from the club doing ecstasy. And now I'm doing ketamine. And now I'm doing every drug you could possibly lay out, I'm doing. So, and that's because of the people I was hanging out with. If I just stuck with people that were good people, like I preached to my son, I try to raise him right. Like he's 11 years old right now, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. I try to keep him busy, and I want to hope to God that he stays with good people through school. You know, not the kids that are. And it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be school, so it's out of my control. I know that, so I can't be too hard on him about it. But that's where I wish I didn't fade off. I wish I stayed with a good group of people from day one.
Yeah.
I mean, but I wouldn't be where I am today, though, if I didn't. So.
Yeah. And I think that's the hardest thing, too, especially you as a parent. It's like there's certain things, like, no matter what you tell, like some people you just have to go through it. Like, you know, like you see your child who heartbreaks on the horizon and you can't do anything about it. There's certain lessons, like even as much as parents or anything, we are all individual souls on our own journey, and like lessons, like no matter what, you know how it is. Even now, like I'm older, like, well, my dad was telling me this and they're warning you, but
Always.
It's like, oh my gosh, there's just some that no matter what you do, sometimes they have to make their own mistakes, you know, and it's like, because you just don't listen to your parents. Like, oh, they told me don't do that. Oh, well, I had to learn the hard way, the easy way or the hard way. But you know how it is. You're young. You don't listen to your parents really. But
I always took the hard way, like knucklehead. That's how I learned. I always took the hard way, even with business. I failed every way you could fail. So when people call me for advice, I'm always like, I got great advice, because I already know you can't do it. There's only one way you can do it. It's the right way. There's no shortcuts. There's no cheap way. There's no fast way. That's it. you know, I failed financially, whatever, you know, so I forgot what I was talking about. Oh,
Well,
just failing.
but you know what, even with failure though, I mean, it's the bravest thing to try. Like I talk about this a lot because I do creative work and you know, it's hard. It's not always paying, it's this or that, but like every thing that you think is a failure, I mean, I think it's really brave to try because a lot of people won't even try for their dreams or whatever, something hard because so my point is saying I think it takes a lot of strength to try. And so
It
some
does.
people won't, you know, like it's an easy road. Like, cause I had one of my very first podcasts, maybe the second episode, I had some guy write to me. I knew him and he's like, cause I post a lot about my music and my podcast, my creativity. And it's tough. It doesn't always pay the radio. And he wrote something like, why don't you just get a normal job already? And I'm just like, you know, because I think it's brave to follow your passion, to follow whatever, follow your dream. Being a musician at my age already, I went through Hollywood. I did all that. I don't do it to be a rock star anymore. I'm like, this is my soul, my passion. My heart talks through music, so it's not even a choice. And some people don't really understand that. When you're an entrepreneur, you know it's not always easy. But you have something in you. You can't stop. You would be denying God. I would be denying God if I silenced my voice, stopped doing music, and went and became an accountant. I mean, that, you know, nothing wrong with that, but like that, I would be doing God injustice. I feel like if I wasn't using the gifts that He gave me. So,
you said it.
yeah, you know what I mean. So, about failure, you know, it's just a break because I have a lot of musicians on the show too, and some of them are my age, and we're still trying, we're still going. And I say they're the bravest people I know because you know what? It's a lot easier. Do you know how many times I'd be like, damn, I should just go get a real job or a steady paycheck because it's hard to do it. But I know I just stayed the course and said, you know, I'm going to figure it out somehow, whatever, because I can't deny this part of me, that part of myself, just to go into the matrix and to be like everyone else. Like that wouldn't be me. I wouldn't be living my truth and all that. And it's hard, and you got to do what you got to do. Of course, you have jobs and pay the rent and all that shit. But you know, but my point with fear and failure, it's brave. Failure, there's no success without failure, right, Jason? You know that.
There's not. The thing is with failure too, like I was always afraid to fail, but now when I fail, it's not that I get excited about it, but now I learned something. Now I know what not to do. And again, fear is created in our head. It's not even real.
Yeah.
Every time I get afraid of something, like that, it's bullshit. It's not real. The fear is not real. I always, you know, I made thousands of fears for myself growing up, and none of them were real. And when I have that little fear today, I walk through it. Always. Something's bothering me, I'll make it a point to do it. If I don't want to talk to somebody, I'll make it a point to talk to them. If I don't like somebody, I make it a point to congratulate them. I don't want to hate on I don't want to not like somebody. And, if I don't like somebody because they're not good people, then I just don't talk to them. You know, I try not, like, I have people who I see it and it entertains me. People who hate on me, they don't know how dumb haters look. And when you just said that, why don't you get a real job? Because obviously they're watching you and they're jealous of what you're doing and they want what you have. That's the only reason why I don't get a real job. You shouldn't do that because they're hating on you. That's it. And I love that. When they do that, I know I'm doing something right that they won't. And I don't want them to feel bad. Get up off your fucking ass and do it. Like when I came to Florida, you know how scared I was to come here? I had $800 to my name. I had no job. I had a job there. I had no job. It was a fear. I got up, got in my 1998 Grand Am Hunter Green GT 6-cylinder, drove that fucking thing on my big box 812, whatever it was, TV with all my flannels from Northeast Pennsylvania, jeans, flannels, and Timberland boots to South Florida where it's 197 degrees. And I get down here and now I'm like, now I'm scared. I don't have a job. These hotels are not $30 a night like they are in Pennsylvania. They're $150 a night down here. And I'm like, I didn't even have $800. I did have like $650. And I'm like, what the hell am I going to do now?
Oh my God. When I moved to LA, literally from Scranton in my Honda CRV had a freaking garbage.
There you go.
Full of shoes, everything in my car. And I drove cross country with this guy that used to be in my band. And I dropped him off because he lived in LA. I dropped him off somewhere. And I was like, I'm in LA by myself with a garbage bag of shoes. But like my parents were supportive. They're like, go ahead, go. And I like, it's crazy. Like, but you made.
I love you did that. Good for you, man. That's awesome.
Moments that are like, little did I know the journey that was ahead of me. Oh my good God. But you know, but if you know now, if you knew now what you knew then. But that's the cool thing about being young. You don't want to be jaded yet. Like that's why even I would never ever tell someone don't you got go ahead. I'll tell you my horror stories and warn you, but you have to live and you have to go and do it, you know? So I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah, I mean I just the Northeast Pennsylvania, the sweatshirts.
It's everybody I know that left that area. I'm not saying it's only Pennsylvania too. At least I love Pennsylvania. I just don't want I don't ever want to live there again. There's nothing.
Yeah.
But everyone that I know that left there is happy. They're not, you know, I have friends I still talk to from high school that not all of them are not happy there, but I know they want to get out of there. And like my brother got out of there. My brother Jeremy just moved here 11 days ago.
I saw that on Facebook.
Right now. I'm so happy right now. He's here. He's going to change his life. My brother Bill, he lives in Philly, but he loves Philly. He loves his life. So that's good. Yeah. You know, and my mom is up there. She's miserable. She could tell me she's not. She's full of shit. She hates it there, but she's stuck. You know that feeling when you're just comfortable and you're just stuck in it.
Yeah, I know.
You don't grow unless you're uncomfortable.
Yes.
When you're comfortable, you don't grow. If I lay on the couch all day, you said it in the beginning of the podcast. People just want things to think about it and pray. No, get your fucking ass up, move your feet. God will open that door if you walk through. God's not going to pick you up, push you through the door. Nothing. Look at him. He's rich. Yeah, you're sitting at home, smoking weed, playing video games. No shit, you're not fucking rich. No shit that I'm here and you're not. You know? I hear it all the time and I don't say nothing.
Right.
Like, these people, I have so many friends that are doing that.
Nobody sees behind the scenes. Like nobody sees. And like
I think this shit's handed to us.
No, oh my gosh. And I see like I talk about a lot of this manifestation. Sometimes I laugh because I lived in California and the hippies, and it's like, yeah, man, it just comes to you. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm positive vibes, but I get annoyed with that. Sometimes I say on the show, hey, if you're having a bad day, tell me. You're not going to sit here and be like, oh, everything sucks, nothing will ever work out. No, but you can be real and tell, because I couldn't stand that about California sometimes. Oh, everything's fine. Oh no, look, it's just flowing to me. I'm thinking it's hard too. You have to put in your time. Like it's not, you want to, the reason we have a radio network and we're on it, it's cost a lot of money. It costs hours, 2 years of work, like so much work. Even my album, Jason, it took literally, I'm releasing my first song on Friday. My first song ever that on my own debut album. I mean, through the music industry, 20 years, I freaking recorded it myself. I wrote it myself. I did everything myself out of Hollywood because I said, screw the freaking devil out there. I have a song called Devil in Me. I'll send you some of my music. But like, you know, it just took so many years and no one sees that struggle. But it's like, yeah, good things are going to happen, manifesting, but it's co-creating with God. And it's not just going to come and, just manifest a car. It'll just start, everything will be flowing. It's like, okay, you have to do some stuff too, you know? So
nobody sees behind the scenes. I was a halfway house when I started my business. And thank God for my ex. We were just starting to talk a little bit because I was trying to work on myself. And I remember I had to pay my share for Brody. I just, it was like $300. I called her and said, hey, Maria, do you think I can keep this $300? I want to start my own business for pressure washing. And I know she wasn't a big fan of me, so I was an asshole. And she goes, yeah. She goes, you'll be fine. I go, really? I go, thanks. And then I bought a pressure washer with that money. So I bought the pressure washer, started pressure washing, took my son. He was 4 years old at the time, 3 or 4. And we went knocking door to door in 100 degrees. I knocked on about 200 doors a day, maybe 300 a day. For 3 or 4 days a week, and maybe land one job and make $80 because so I was making no money for a while, but nobody sees the grinding to get to where I am, or you. Nobody sees behind the scene. They see, must be nice. Must be nice. Oh, look, if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't have that. Now, how about I grinded and I remained faithful and I keep doing the right thing and doors keep opening, and that's how I got here.
Right. And those opportunities that they weren't just by even when I got my big break in Hollywood I met a big age, I was like, oh, all of a sudden I was flying first class. But it was 10 freaking years of playing in bars, of hauling my career, being broke, of doing this, like 10 years to get that big break that ended up being another like crazy thing. So now finally I'm like, okay, I'm out of it. But yeah, I mean, but good for you. I said it's kind of like people too. It's like out of every 1,000 in this world, you might maybe one good one that's like quality, like, and there's some great people in the chat room, but I mean, they're hard to find. Like my friend Aaron, like that's one in 5. I mean, I meet a lot of people. I'm sure you do too, but it's not often you meet people with some depth. We'll talk about God, because it's not like you just go up to everyone. Hey, are you working on yourself? How's it? Yeah. What are you?
Yeah.
Hi, what's up, man? How's the weather? It's like, I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about this. That's why I have Hollistics, my outlet here. Have these conversations. But no, we go off a tangent here, but I love it. But we have a couple more questions. Jess says your story is powerful, and I'm sure it will touch many people. Yes, so we're going to spread it far and wide. Liz asks, how did recovery change the way you parent, not just the way you live?
How did recovery change the way you parent? Oh my God, thank God recovery changed. Recovery. First of all, when I got into recovery, I didn't get in recovery to change. I told him to make the podcast. I was a good man. There was nothing wrong with me. When I started doing recovery, and then I learned I was the alcohol and the drugs weren't the problem. I was the problem. And then I realized my character defects and all my shortcomings and my resentments and my fears were just making me a total piece of shit. Because running off of fear and resentments, you're just bashing everybody, hiding from people, avoiding people, burning people. You're not a good person, and you need, and I hated not being a good person. I really did. I hated it. I didn't want to turn out to be like my father. And I was turning out to be like him, not the molesting part, and not the beating the shit out of my mom part. And starving us to death. That's the part of him. I told you he was a sociopath and a psychopath. He would starve us and get off on it and sing while he was eating pizza in front of us or starving to death. He would take Christmas from us. He would come upstairs to come downstairs, and I'm like 7 years old. So Bill was probably 6. Jeremy was 5. My sister was like 2 or 1. And all the Christmas stuff would be done. He'd have it all gone. And he'd be like, this is because you were bad this year. And I remember how mad I used to get. I wasn't even mad that he took the fucking tree down. Stick the tree up your fucking ass. I was so mad. I looked at my siblings' faces, and they were just couldn't understand why he took Christmas away, why Santa Claus didn't come. And I'm like, I hate you. And then the next year, he wraps our same toys. We're opening gifts, and if we don't love them, we're gonna get our fucking asses beat. So we're getting our own toys wrapped up. Shit. And then my buddy Jamie's always busting my balls. You're a Niners fan. Why are you Niners fan in Pennsylvania? Because I got a Salvation Army jersey because we didn't have any money. So that was my first jersey. It was a Joe Montana jersey. It was from Salvation Army. So that's why I was a Niners fan. I didn't know anything about football. And that's how that's how I was raised, and then I didn't want to be like, I knew I wasn't going to be that man, but I didn't want to be sick like him. And the womanizing and the narcissistic tendencies I was getting, I'm a master manipulator. I still am, but I'm aware of it today. I can manipulate anything that I want, and it's not something that I'm bragging about, but I used to brag about it in my head. I was like, I'll get what I want here, watch this, and I always did. With cops, with girls, with friends, with whatever the hell I wanted to get, I got it. And not in a good way either. It was just, and I turned out to be just like him. And I did not want to be like him. And when I learned that in recovery, change the way you live as a parent, I learned that I think I'm going to have kids. And then I said, I remember knowing maybe God won't let me have kids because I don't know how to raise a kid. I don't know how to be a man. This is sad. It's embarrassing. I just recently started I'm 40 years old, opening a door for my fiancé to go to church. She's like, oh.
Hey, better late than never.
I know. I said I'm learning. Right. I was like, I'm trying.
Never do. Let me ask you a question, Jason. Where with your dad and everything, like there's a lot of the generational like, well, if you don't mind sharing, if you don't share anything, is what was he raised like? What was his dad? Was his dad absent? What is like? Because a lot of times you're trying to break the generational cycle, like you just said. No one taught you how to love. No one taught you healthy love. No one taught. Like it's awful. But what happened to him? Because that he did the same. Is it a pattern? Like
you said it. I talked to my brother Jeremy about this a couple days ago. He's very angry with my dad. I'm not. I don't love my dad. I haven't seen him since I was 9 or 10 years. I mean, I think I was like 9 or 10 years old. Last time I see him, nobody even knows where he is. He's probably dead. But I learned from reading, going to church, the Bible, I watch a lot of Christian movies. The general curse you're talking, the generational curse. I mean this from my heart, and the Lord knows this. I hope he does go to heaven. I hope he is forgiven. I hope he is forgiven because he wants to be forgiven, because he wants to be forgiven, and he knows he's wrong. It's not for me to judge him. I can't have any hate in my heart. I'm already a crazy, angry person, and I have to keep that locked away. So I can't have no hate, and I do forgive him. I forgave him a long time ago. I never thought I would forgive him. I was going to
ask you that, yeah.
Of course I forgave. Yeah, absolutely. I forgave him. He has no bondage over me, nothing. I got to break the chain. My brothers got to break the chain. My sister got to break the chain. And we all turned out, working on my brother, working on him. But we all turned out pretty good here. You know what I mean? We all have a good heart. I can say that. Yeah. We don't intentionally. We always, my siblings are like me. We want to help people. We help people. We do try our best, and he didn't take that from us, at least. So, and I know that side. My father said, I don't know as a child. I know my grandfather. He wasn't a nice man. I don't care. I remember him when I was a kid, and I don't care if my family sees that from that side. I don't know them that well. I only know his sisters, and they weren't. He wasn't. My grandfather was not a nice person. He was a mean old German, and I can't give details, but he did. He did things around me that I didn't like when I was a little kid. It made me question, like, is this normal? He just, and so I can imagine what he did to my father. So I don't know, Right. And I explained that to my brother, and he's like, yeah. I was like, but you'll get there when you get there. You're brand new to this whole thing with the Lord. And I'm excited that he's here, and he wants to have a relationship with the Lord. I love that he wants to, because he's going to open some doors for him when he just keeps chasing after him, and he gets that relationship. And then he's going to he's going to glow. I know he is, because he's got a good heart. And when he knows his purpose is to help others and give back. Well, I don't know if that's his purpose. That's mine. Whatever his purpose is. So you said, yeah. So as a parent, I learned in church, from the men around me, healthy men that's been around for a while, that are fathers, and I watch other men, how they discipline their kids. My kid's 11 years old. I spanked him 3 times. That's it. His entire life 3 times, and and every time I did it, I cried, but not in front of him. I hated it.
Yeah.
And but I do yell sometimes. I don't yell. I talk loud. But he's a good kid. I rarely discipline him. I just look at him and he listens to me. So I learned a lot.
That's smart. Like I'm all for discipline. I think it's good. I mean, people
I agree 100%.
This day and age is like, don't. Then kids end up being horrible brats. They have no freaking I remember seeing there's a viral video of some little kid like smashing things in the grocery store. And
no, my kid.
And it's just like, no, like my dad. That you have it right though. The look, my mom would give me a look and you're like, oh my God, no. Like just a look alone, like, you better not. But that's the thing. I mean, that's a parent, like when you get older, maybe you could be friends and stuff, but like, that's the role. Like you to raise good humans, I think you have to give them some discipline. My dad was scary AF. You know what I mean? He was scary, but like, I think I turned out pretty good. But I owe that to my dad. He was scary though. Like I was scared. Not in a scary, like he wasn't abusive or anything like that, but he meant business, and he was like, no, you knew you were in trouble, if you stay out late or you were doing anything bad. But today, like, so you have to have should put a little fear in your kids, because and then
it's a healthy fear.
Yeah, a healthy fear, like
Healthy
just
fear.
who's in charge, because that is your job, like to try to raise good humans, and people with no discipline. And this day and I sound so old, right? Like this day and age, kids these days. Oh
my
my
kid
God.
makes fun all the time. Oh, Dad, let's hear about back in your day. He's a smart ass like me. He's like, oh, here we go, back in your day.
Right.
And I'm like, this kid's he's such a ball buster.
Back in my day, remember like what was it, like candy bars were 5 cents, and now we're like, remember when candy bars were 50 cents? Jason, in Scranton at the convenience, now they're like $3.
Penny candy. Penny candy was a penny,
Penny candy. Now it's like 59 cents candy, like all for one, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, we have another question here. Fantastic show. Oh, yes. Speaking of fantastic show, thank you. Everyone, please share, follow, engage. Yes, I don't say it enough, but if you're on Rumble, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, wherever you are, and you see that little thumbs up, please like it, share it, retweet it, help get it out there. I am independently, but we don't have a big machine behind us. So the more it goes out there, just share it. If you're liking it, get it out. Help us out. Like it, subscribe, all that good stuff. Someone says, BOPUSA Radio says, I know who that person is. What advice do you have for wannabe entrepreneurs that refuse to be dishonest or play a dishonest game? Haha. How do we grow? Basically, I think, I know what he's saying. Like you hear nice guys, don't get ahead. Sometimes you hear in business, it's like I feel like, you do the right thing sometimes, and it's just like you always get
stepping on toes. See, I have it, and I told Heather that. I go, I'm going to run. She goes, you want to be a billionaire, right? And I said, yeah. She goes, you got to step on some people. And I was like, I won't do that. I won't do that. I won't run somebody over. Even when I was my position that I have now, I'm the lead contractor. I don't want to stay in there. I don't want to get in trouble. It's a distribution center. It's a $44 billion distribution center. It's worth $44 billion. So that guy that was there before me, if I was offered it, and I remember talking about this, he was like, I'd give it to you, but I have somebody. He was like, I was like, I wouldn't want it anyway. I wouldn't want somebody to lose their job. I don't do that. I'm not. God's plan is his plan. If it's mine, it will be mine. If anything is forced to you, or you have to, it's just like you said, the house stuff, all that stuff was just falling apart because it wasn't meant to be, because he's opening other doors for you. When doors close, bigger ones open. Like when my van was stolen, the door that opened for me. I went from grinding, making pennies, renovating houses, which I'm not even great at. I'm a good painter, but I was making money, but I wasn't going to be a multi-millionaire over it. I want to make, like, I have huge goals, and I wasn't going to get there doing that. So he closed that door for me, and he opened this bigger one. Now I got bigger ones beside. This is not even. This ain't even going to last forever either. I got something bigger opening than this. It just keeps going, and it blows me away. So yeah, be honest all the time. I don't want to run people over. I'm not going to, and if I do, I'm not doing it on purpose. But just go with the flow. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. That's how I see it.
Yes, and Jay, that's Dan. That's my husband. So he's VOP USA Radio, but he asked that's because he finally got a job again, and he lost his job out of the blue after like 6 years. I mean, for no reason, and that the whole spiral out of Maine, which we didn't like it anyway. But long story short, he was working remote for a good job for over 6 years, and out of the blue, boom. Like God just got us out of there. All of a sudden, we couldn't afford to live there anymore. We couldn't this, and we had to put our house for sale. We had to move, and everything, nothing. Like finally got it all worked out. Thank God. This recently just happened last week. He finally got a job after 4 months of unemployment. I mean, it was awful, and all these horrible companies ghosted him. And people are just this day and age. I was with him every step of the process. I heard every interview. I'm like, oh my, and people are just mean. And I think that's the thing. When we say the entrepreneurs, you always hear business. It's like you just said, you have to step on people. See, we are someone here in VOP. We're like, we don't make a load of money doing this. So you're like, oh, you must be really bad at business. You must be this, but it's just like, at the same time, I don't know. There's this whole influencer class where you have to do, and they're only doing it for money. We don't do it just for money. So it's like that whole trying to not step on people and being honest or being truthful or being God. I feel like sometimes it just doesn't pay the bills that good,
He's orchestrating something for you. He's always orchestrating something set up for you. Maybe a year, maybe it's not ready for you yet, whatever's like with your husband, the job he lost, he had something planned for him already. So it wasn't ready at the time when he lost his job. That's how I see it. I believe that. I believe like I tell my guys, I was like, if that job is there for you, or that girl, well, I'll use a relationship. If there's a woman for you, right, or a man, and you're not leveled up yet, or you're not the man, I'm not the man for Heather, he ain't going to provide her in my life yet. Same thing with work. Same thing with jobs. The Lord is not going to put you to fail. You need to be ready for that. So do the footwork, level up, and he'll open that door for you. And then you can go through relationships. I believe that, all that, 100%, everything.
I do. Yeah, I do too. And I think like that's and I think that's the hardest part sometimes, especially in business. And you come across a lot of people, sometimes it's tempting to want to be that bad, not bad person back, but like you take it from someone who's so rude or horrible. And the easiest thing is to give them that negative back, because you have to bite your tongue, but it's always after so many times, I always say, you got to be the change you want to see in the world. You got to be the example. And it is not easy sometimes. You're like, oh my gosh. But at the end of the day, I think that's the hardest part, is remaining honest, remaining in that, like why we started Voice of the People USA. I mean, this was to tell stories like this, to tell truth. And it's, it gets invaded by people who don't have good intentions. And sometimes you're like, God, they always seem to get ahead. They get the money, they get this and that. But at the end of the day, we have our integrity and we feel good about it.
It always comes crashing at the end. I know a lot of people like that. They always get ahead again because they're stepping on people.
Yes.
They're miserable. They're not happy.
Yeah.
They're cheating on their wives. They're vice versa. They're not good to their kids. They're miserable people, those people. Guys, us, if we do it the honest way, like you never know who's watching you. So like with your husband, if he does, like he's doing the right thing, you're doing the right thing. People watch that. Nobody wants to be around people doing the wrong thing. Like I didn't know people were watching me in recovery. They were watching me talk about the Lord. This is like 5 years ago. This man, Eddie, who is why I am in my shoes I am today. He was watching me. People were watching me. And I didn't know people were watching me. I'm nobody. I'm just a regular guy in recovery. I have a son I do my best for. I started my business from a halfway house. And they saw, I'm a man of my word. And I preach, I acted how I did in the meeting. It's how I act outside the meeting. How I act in church is how I act outside of church. I don't sit in church and praise the Lord and go out in the parking lot and start cursing and looking porn up on my phone.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm not saying,
so I try to stay. So when you do that, people are watching. That's why I get the phone call. He's like, hey, I've been watching you. Who's this? He's like, it's Eddie. I don't say his name. And he's like, it's Eddie. I'm like, oh. He's like, you know me? I was like, yeah, I remember you from men's group. He's like, yeah, so-and-so told me to call you, and they keep calling you and check on you. And he keeps telling me to hire you for these big jobs. And I'm like, I can't do that. Long story short, I was like, that's an over my head. He goes, over your head. He goes, get up here and fucking see me. I don't got time. He's like, he started cursing at me. And my ego's like, tell him shut the fuck up. Talk to me like that. And something whispered in my ear and said, get your ass up. Because I was doing a drywall job and the mud was drying and I was sitting down having lunch. And he goes, something in my ear said, get your ass up and go see this man. I swear to God. And I got up. I drove an hour north to go see him. And I knew of him, but I never talked to him. I went to where he started his company, and I've been leveling up, following his suggestions with the Lord, with work, with finances. So the Lord, he'll put those people in your life when you live an honest life, because you never know who's watching.
When you live honest and authentic, because I will say this about, and I've said it before, I'm not a huge fan of organized religion and people fighting about this and that, because I've met some of the holiest people who always have a freaking Bible with them, but they're rude, they're mean, they're cheats, they're like, it's like, just because you have a Bible doesn't make you good. You know what I mean? You have to practice.
We have a Bible because we're sinners. We have a Bible because we're broken. We have a Bible because we need Jesus. If I was perfect and happy, I wouldn't need Jesus. They don't understand that. They're like, you're a Christian, act like that. No, I act like this because I'm a Christian, because I'm a sinner.
Yes.
That's why I'm a Christian, because I'm a sinner. I sin all day long.
Yeah.
It's so funny when they say that. Doesn't make no sense. You shouldn't act like that. You're a Christian. No, you actually act like that.
I know, because I've had some bad experience. It was the whole religion. I'm just like, oh wait, it's okay. You know, you're a hypocrite. They're hypocritical.
Yeah.
It's like just because I don't walk around and quote Bible verses all day, but
I
doesn't
still
mean
can't
I'm
quote.
not.
I've been doing this for 15 years. I can't quote a Bible verse.
You
I can't.
know, it's more about, I'm sorry, because people sometimes hide behind religion and, oh, I'm God. And I'm like, but you, okay, we get, that's a whole other episode of this,
Yeah.
all that stuff. Yeah. But you know what I mean? I guess the point at the end of the day is like, don't be a shitty person. Be kind. It's so easy. Be kind. It's not that freaking hard. Why is it in this world sometimes? It's like, why? It's not that hard to be kind. It costs nothing. I say, like, be compassionate. Have some empathy. Empathy is the biggest thing I think is missing. Not from everyone, but you know what I mean? Just empathy to put yourself in someone's shoes. Like, people, I mean, it's a cruel world. I feel like, I hope I don't sound like bitter and mean, like, oh, because I try to keep a positive outlook. But I mean, like, what the freak has happened to this world? Like, have some humanity, have some freaking, that's why I like this show. And this is why I do it. It's like to meet people like yourself. And there are a lot of good people out there, and they're lonely and they are struggling. And I talk about a lot about AI now and disconnection and like, preserving humanity, as we can't avoid AI, we can't avoid phones and computers, but I feel like, you know, it's very important to have these conversations and keep God at the forefront and keep God in play, because that's what makes you human. God, like none of the AI, none of that stuff is going to replace your connection with God, you know. And I think that we're always distracted. The next thing, and it's just like, okay, what's the most important thing? Because people are lonely and disconnected, and that's why they turn to alcohol and they're trying to find something, you know. Which I go on my tangent. Sorry.
No, you're right. You're right, 100%. You're 100% right. That's what we do. We get bored, and so we look for something to do to feel better, to not feel bored anymore.
Yeah, and there's so much. Yeah. God is great. Congratulations on your recovery in life's work.
Thank you.
Keep honoring Jim Tim. Are you still in the house, Jim Tim? Jim's a friend of the show. He says, keep honoring his direction. Chef says, God is good. Please follow. Oh, please follow me. Please follow me. Okay. Here's a good one. Liz asks, what does healthy love look like after experiencing toxic patterns?
Wow.
Is it not like I don't know how to interrupt, but because we had this question on with Jess the other night, saying now, like she was saying, she didn't know how to sit with like regular love, because you even said you didn't know how to. You weren't taught how it's not. We talked about that butterfly feeling when she said it's actually just your nervous system recognizing a pattern. So like you said earlier, you were not didn't love the beautiful woman as much because she wasn't exciting or something, even though she was probably more healthy and you weren't ready for her.
No. Well, the one I'm with now, Heather, I love her. She's the most amazing thing in the world to me, man. Her and my son. And when we met, we were totally attracted to. She calls me a meathead. She's not attracted to meatheads, so she makes fun of me. And I was attracted to different girls, but we were just attracted to each other's energy, I think, and personalities. Yeah. And we just couldn't stay away from each other. And then she became my best friend, and she became Brody's best friend. And we even tried separating for a couple months. I tried dating someone else, and I couldn't do it. And I remember I reached back out to her after a couple months, and she came over. And you there?
I'm still there. Yeah.
I lost you.
I'm just giving you the spotlight.
And it's just different. It's nice to have somebody that I want to love, that I want to come home to, that I want to laugh with, that I want to spend the rest of my life with, that I want to marry. That's my best friend that I want to share every secret with. And I'm not embarrassed to be around her. She means everything to me, and I always want to make her happy. You know, it was every other relationship in, and I feel bad for the other women that I was with. I told her, I go, you got the good Jason. I go, maybe in the beginning, because I was still working on myself when she met me. I was still a kind of a train wreck. I was just new in recovery, so I was still working on myself. But I was all about Jason. Every single relationship before Heather, it was all about, and I'm not saying this, say, well, no, it really was all what I wanted, what I want to do. And it's still like that sometimes, because she calls me out and I catch myself. I'm like, stop, it's not really all about me. She goes, you're not always talking about yourself. She's always teasing me. And I'm like, but we have such a great relationship. She sharpens me. I'm a way better man today because of her.
Aw.
I do things. I talk differently. I walk differently. I act. I dress differently. You know, she just changed my life. And when she came into the picture, she didn't want nothing to do with God. She hated God. And when I heard her story, it made sense. She told me her story. And I was like, so we have the same backstory. It's a little different. They're both traumatic, and I asked for help and I got it, and she asked for help and she would, and then would always turn her back on her. So it made sense to me. So I wasn't attracted to her in the beginning because of that. You know, it was just a fling, and for both of us, but we just kept coming around, and then it was like we are like the perfect team, business partners. We love each other very much. We sharpen each other. She actually takes my advice. I take hers. I listen to her. She listens to me. It's just, we're such a great team. Like everything we do, I couldn't imagine not being with her. I couldn't. I love her so much.
What's her name again? I'm sorry.
Heather Elliott.
Okay. Well, big shout out to her. She's probably watching, or if she can see the replay.
Or she's probably not. She's sick of hearing me talking.
No.
No, she's probably watching downstairs.
Oh, good. Well, you know what? That's the thing too. And I finally, after so many, I met my partner, and I feel the same way. It was many, many bad ones before that, and many self-work. And I didn't meet him until we were ready. But at the same time, we're sold this, like, you know how it is in this world. You're sold. Oh, I saw some video the other day. I mentioned it last show, but like, you know, true love is not, oh, we're just going to go on vacations and snap pictures and everything's great. It's like the true love is the person who does see you in the beginning, when you're just in the beginning. They see your soul, and that's why there's so many marriages that break up, and half the people are divorced, more than half probably, because you don't get to know each other. You have to know each other's soul, and starting as friends and being there for someone. But it's all this bullshit. When I lived in Hollywood, it was always like, it was just like, oh, you jump into a relationship right away and we're in love, and then they hate each other, and then that is not love. Like, that is obviously not love. No. Like, you need to get to know people, and it's so rushed in this day. Like, oh, just get all of a sudden, because it's this attraction, oh, the butterflies, oh, it's all physical. It's so that you always hear that, you know what I mean? It's like that wears off so fast. You have to,
it does.
And to be able to work with them and have the same goals, and to take the bad and the good. But I think that's the most important thing, when you do, like, you work together, that you could do a business together, that you like each other. I mean, that's,
I know,
you know,
take the bad with the good to go with the bad. I love that. I always say that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So true.
We learned a lot from each other, and she's a blessing. Her family's a blessing. You know, my family loves her. I love her family. They love me. It's so perfect. And the best part about this, her and my son's mother, they're like really good. They love each other too. They talk a lot. You know, they get along. And Simone, he loves Heather to death. So we all get. God's. If you just drop the resentments, the fears, the pride, the ego, and just let it go. Surrender, and just get along. I can't even know. You know what I'm saying? It's
like, it's the easiest thing, the most simple thing. I'm like, but this it's humans, and people. People blame God and stuff. No, it's not God. It's man-made. Everything idiots. And these problems are all man-made. It's not God. The God provided. There's a beautiful things in this world, and it's the humans and the mind and the ego and that ruin it. It's like they ruin it for everybody. You know what I mean? It's true. Liz says that's the true failure, being so afraid your dream won't work and not even trying. Yeah, that's why I was saying the bravest thing is to go for your passion, to go for your dream. It's not, like you said, it's not going to be easy. You're going to have to do things you don't want to do, but it is. I always say that it's so brave to keep doing whatever it is, being an entrepreneur, whatever your dream is, at least trying, and you will fail. You will probably fail. You might fail 100 times, but at least you're doing it. You're trying.
I told Heather, I was like, I don't care if we lose, everything. I know I'll get it back. Like, if I have a goal, I'll lose everything to get that goal.
Yeah.
Because I know I'll get it all back. I know I will. So I'm the go-getter for sure.
Yeah, because you don't want to have
and I know you are. No, and I know you are too. Yeah, you definitely are. I already know by just talking to you here now.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Dr. Wayne said, what if your whole life was a lie? Because fear is the word. Like, what was the president? Who was the president said it? Nothing to fear but fear itself. I forget who said it. It's a famous quote.
Oh, yeah, me too. I know what you're talking about.
It's just like everything is fear. And if what's the opposite of is the opposite of fear love? Like, what is the opposite of fear? Because is the opposite of fear God?
The opposite of fear is God. Yeah, that's good. That's probably what it is, though. Because I know there's.
I don't know. Like, I'm just saying.
It probably is God.
Because where does fear come from? Self-doubt. But why? Like, what is the fear? I'm not asking. Like, I know I'm just saying. Like, when you think about it,
that would make sense. I like that. Opposite is God. I like that. That would make sense if you just like every morning. I don't miss. I pray every single morning. I read. I go sit on my dock sometimes. I'll listen to a little Bible verses. I listen to it sometimes. I'll play the music in the morning. I do different stuff every morning, but I always hit my knees as soon as I open my eyes. Unless I got to take a real bad piss, I am hitting my knees and I'm armoring up real quick because I know the devil. He's just sitting there. He's under the bed. He's waiting to have my phone ring and have somebody yell at me, because if someone starts yelling at me in the morning, Jason wakes up, and then Jason's back. And so before my phone goes on, I look at my phone. I armor up with the Lord every morning, and I'm already ready to go.
Yeah. As they say, they put the armor of God on, because in this world, you need it. You know, you need it.
I'll fail without it.
Leaving PA many years ago, Jamie says, best thing I ever did. I understand.
Yeah.
Right? Let's see. Any more questions? Hollis, how do you stay grounded when people only see the highlight reel? How do you stay? I don't know. I don't understand that.
I don't understand that question either.
Let me know. Maybe what's a struggle you went through that actually became your greatest lesson?
What struggle you went through that actually became your greatest lesson? That's too many questions.
Yeah, that's okay. You kind of answered it. I'm sure.
Became your greatest lesson.
I did definitely.
Honestly, God, keeping God first. Because when I got sober this time, Stevie B, my sponsor, he goes, I want you to write what you're going to do different in this sobriety. He wanted to know if I was taking it serious. I had it done in 15 minutes. I mean, I wrote the whole time, and I read to him. He's like, wow, I take suggestions, follow, keep God first, have priorities, have a circle, have my meetings, have everything lined up, things that I wasn't doing the last 10 years. And I've been doing them ever since, and I'll keep doing them. So that was my biggest lesson, not following suggestions, probably. And now I am, and I still do. Because I'll never think I know everything or I know something. I always remain teachable. If I don't remain teachable, I already failed. I already lost. I get a lot of know-it-alls out there. Yeah. I'm not a know-it-all. I'll never be a know-it-all.
That's so good. The smartest thing I've ever heard the people say is like, when you actually say, I mean, people think they know everything. Like, I don't know anything. I mean, yes, you know things. But when you say, what is this? Like, do you really, the smartest thing to really say is, I don't know everything. Like, how do people think they have the answer? Oh, this got this. It's just like, the smartest thing is say, I really don't know. I think that's honest. I didn't understand the highlight reel question, but I think now I understand it. Quintus says, yes, the highlight reels out there of everyone including photos of their best lives with no problems brings up compare and despair. I think that's like maybe saying like when people just are, especially on social media, you're only showing like, oh, everything's wonderful. I think that's maybe what you meant. It's an illusion, a perfect curated moments. So I'm just going through, I just want to see if I missed any.
When we forgive others. But yeah, she's right. When you forgive others, it gives you more peace. You're right.
But what is that, like drinking poison? What's another quote? That's another quote. Like forgiveness or hanging on to resentment is like drinking your own poison or something. You have to forgive. Because
pretty much resentment is the number one killer in addicts. Resentment is the number one killer in us addicts. If we have any resentments, we have to lose it. It doesn't matter what it is. You got to get rid of it. And for me to say that about my father and I resent him, when people give me excuses, I'm sponsored, I can't. She stole my couch. Or she made me pay child support. And I'm like, my dad molested me and beat me, and I used to watch him beat the shit out of my mother. He's like, oh, okay. Oh, now I feel bad. I go, yeah, so you can't forgive that? Like, come on. So that's why I know the Lord uses me for a tool to help them be more receptive to him to forgive. If I can forgive, you know, someone said to me a long time ago, this is why it made it a little easier to forgive my dad, just popped in my head.
Yeah.
If the Lord can forgive me for what I did, and I was a real piece of shit. If he can forgive me, who am I to not forgive him? I'm not God. I'm like, wow, that's powerful. So that always stuck with me. It's been 20-some years since I heard that, and it still sticks with me. If I can't forgive him, if he can forgive me, who am I to not forgive him?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Because that's the thing. I mean, we all have our issues really bad, and they said it's God who's gonna, you know, punish or forget or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just you were victim of your dad, but he obviously has his demons that he's a victim of. So like it's all like a vicious cycle. So the forgiveness, is that I think that's what
the end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's such a cruel world. Okay, let's just make sure my wife is a friend to understand rather than. Yeah, there's loads. I love this. There's a lot of. Thank you guys all for your comments in here. I'm sorry if I'm not getting to any, but if there's any other questions, some people are just chatting with each other. Human connection and contact.
Yeah, I agree.
Heather is so lucky to have you in her life. JFK. I thought that too.
JFK. There we go.
Was that who said that? That if fear opposite of fear is faith. That's what I thought. I said love, but true, right?
Yeah, God, same thing. God,
faith,
same thing.
yeah, faith, love, that everything will work out. Yeah, there we go.
Thanks, man.
Love is the answer. Okay, there we go. Now we got that.
Love is the answer. Faith.
So, oh my gosh, like thank you everybody for chatting and stuff. So wow, gosh, time goes fast. We've been talking for a while. Time goes fast. Let me ask you maybe just a couple. Closing. One, I would love to have you back sometime. You got to come back on the show sometime.
Cool. Thank you.
And okay, so people right now out there, you said you're a sponsor? Like if someone's looking for help.
I sponsor a mentor, yeah.
So if they wanted to connect with you, would you have any kind of website or email?
They can reach out to me on Facebook or my phone number, whatever they want. Anytime. I don't care if it's 3:00 in the morning. I'll answer my phone and I will make myself available.
Okay. Well, that's nice. Well, maybe we shouldn't give your phone number on the show, but we'll if anyone messages,
Facebook, right? Give it if you want. I don't know how you do it in your end. I'm not good with technology.
Okay. So how about like a word of advice? So say someone right now who's where have you been? You know what I mean? If you could give them one bit of advice if they were listening. I mean, you were in a pretty bad spot, obviously, very bad.
I would if you're not.
Who's starting their journey or maybe thinking about like who's at rock bottom doesn't know where to start. What would you give maybe a piece of advice?
It's don't let the devil win. You know, just get up. And if you're not a Christian, you don't believe in God, I don't care what other options you have. You know, when I tell the people, what is bad going to come out of? Have you ever heard anything bad coming out of praying to God or Jesus? I've never heard anything bad come, even trying. Worst case scenario, you can take your miserable, shitty life back. So get your ass up. I will go to a church. I like Christian churches because they're open to everybody, anybody. And talk to somebody about a men's group or women's group and get involved in a men or women's group. And make sure you share with somebody, the group or an individual person, what's going on in your life and ask them how you can get help. And or if not, you can reach out to me and I can even give you suggestions and tell you on the side. So if you're not, that's all I can, that's definitely would help me. If I didn't get into recovery and then give my life to Christ, I definitely wouldn't have this life today. I did 2 different programs in the churches and they definitely got to the roots of my issues of who I was and who I didn't have to be anymore. And and then from there you just grow. Yeah,
because it's hard. You can't do it alone. I mean, you need some support.
I know a lot of men out there are like, "Oh, I'll do it myself." Good luck with that. You got here on your doing it yourself. What's going to change? Nothing.
Yeah. And like you said, there are good people out there. You know, sometimes it's discouraging. Oh, you seem like there's more bad people than good. But you're right. When you start aligning on your path, they start to come. The people who are meant, when the student is ready, the teacher will find you. That quote. But you know what I mean? Like, so I think once you, like I said, it's hard to do it by yourself. That's just
I would fail.
Yeah.
If I didn't have the men in my life and fail, I probably wouldn't have Heather in my life right now because even when I was growing, even when I was a better man, but I still sucked at relationships. I was at a point to where maybe I'm the guy in the Bible that's just supposed to just serve God and not be in a relationship. And my spouse will laugh, no, you're not that guy. Stop it. Because I just suck. I'm horrible at relationships. I don't, everything's babyish to me, and it was then, not now. And then every time I had an issue or a problem, I have to step outside, call, and I'm like, I got 5 guys I talk to, and I'll call, and I'm like, this happened, and this happened. I did this, and then she's doing this. You're wrong. Why am I wrong? Because the good news is when you're wrong, I don't run from it. I want to know why I'm wrong. Let's pinpoint this so I can fix it. Why am I wrong? And I'm aggravated in the first place why I'm wrong, but I want to know why. And I'm like, oh, all right, that makes sense. Then I got to go in, apologize, but don't do it again. Don't go and apologize and do it again. Say, oh, I'm sorry. No, you don't make excuses. Just be better. Being better. So this whole thing with me, with God and growing, trust me, it's just not just that, but it was every part of my life. I had to change everything in my life.
Well, that was the thing too. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but people get in relationships so quick without even knowing themselves. I mean, it's like if you don't even really know yourself, or you know what I mean? If you don't know God, if you don't know yourself, I mean, I'm talking about myself from experience. You're always, how can you actually even know someone when you're in a relationship? You do need to communicate, and you got to get to know someone, what they need, how it could work, communication and all that. But most of us don't even know ourselves. I mean, I'm still learning, you know what I mean? It takes you years to really like learn who you are. So then
you don't love yourself, the relationship will fail.
Yeah.
You're gonna hurt the other person, and you're just gonna fail. You don't love yourself, you can't love that person. And it's facts. It's not me, my opinion. It's a fact.
No, that's so true, because you always hear it, right? It's just like you want to be in a relationship because you want to be, not because you're codependent, not because you need them, not. And you know, it's hard. We talked about this on another show again, but the codependent thing when you're younger, and a lot of it's down to money. Well, we have a house together and we're each paying the rent. We can't leave, and that's how some women get in abusive relationships. They can't leave because of money. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
But the ideal, and it's not always like that, which is why there's so many bad relationships. But ideally, you got to be okay on your own first, and then ideally, you know, like if you could. Not needing someone. Oh, I can't live without you. I need a relationship to make me. No, never gonna work.
That was me my entire life, because I didn't love myself. Yeah. I was always attached to them.
Yeah,
like, you're so needy. I'm like, but I love you. No, I don't. I just.
No, yeah, but you're not alone. So many people.
Not today,
I would like that too. You know, almost you're codependent. Like you don't, because you're missing. Yeah. You're not like don't have enough self-love yet. You're also missing God. Like, so you're looking for that for someone else. And now all of a sudden they think you're needy because it's codependent, and it's not good, you know? So it's really a long journey.
It is. It was very long, long, but it pays off in the end. And my son's not going to suffer any of, he's going to come out good in the end. My fiance, my soon to be wife in October.
Oh, congratulations.
I'm so excited about that. I never thought I was going to be excited about getting married. I never really, I wanted to get married, but I was like, I feel like I'm supposed to get married, but now, no, I want to be married.
Wait, like getting well, good for you. No, it's nice. They say that. And now I find all these cheesy things. Not really, but it's like, it is nice to have a partner to do it. But like,
it is.
You know, I mean, it is. So, I mean, if all those lonely single people, if you're out there, there's a difference between alone and lonely. Wait for the right person. Don't try, like, get to know yourself. Become someone who, you know what I mean? Someone wants to be with. You don't want to, listen, I get Hollis my dating advice. You know, no one wants a bum. No one wants a freaking, get yourself together, guys. So, because there's, you know, and you'll find it. Because I was the lonely single person for so long. So I understand. I never thought I would meet my guy. I did, and it's a healthy relationship, and it's the best relationship I ever had. But it was because I went through so much, and I was like, I hit Rob, no more bad, no more toxic. I don't want anyone ever. And then
that was me. I did it too. Like, no more. I'm done. No more.
Yes, no. Isn't that funny? Then they find, like, you know, you got to work on yourself. So anyone out there, don't, you know, and you have me here. That's why I show up every night at 7. I'm Hollis here, and you're not alone. I end my show is always with that. You guys aren't alone, and now you know Jason. And again, we will put your email, or, you know, if you email me too, I could always connect you with Jason. I got to just go to hollismahady.com right here. Speaking of that, everybody, I forget to do it. Let me take this comment off because I have my website here. And that's a good way, where is it? Wait, hold on. Sorry. Quentin. Oh, Quentin was wrong. He said it was FDR, Hollis, Franklin Roosevelt, not JFK for the quote.
Oh.
But you were close. You got the wrong. You were close. Oh, there it is. So hollismahady.com. If you need to contact and you want to find Jason, I could get you in contact with him too. And you're also on Facebook too if you search.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, good.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, gosh, Jason, this has been amazing.
Thank you.
I'm so glad that you came on. Thank you again, Jatrusa. I don't know if you're still in the chat room there, but for introducing us. And yeah, you have a very powerful story. And you're getting married. When are you getting married?
October 10th.
October 10th. And I was going to say, you got to write a book or something. You should write a book. Do people
My
tell you
therapist
that?
told me that 10 years ago.
Yes.
My therapist told me that. Swear to God.
Well, then you could come back on the
You
show.
write a book on your story. I'll say, yeah.
I know, right? Everyone is ChatGPT now. Everyone can write a book, but you should write a book, and then you could come and talk about it more. But whatever. But yeah, because most people who come and they have something to sell or something. So
Yeah,
you gotta write your story down, or you could do an audiobook, something like that. But we have it on time capsule here.
I didn't even get to the meat and potatoes. I just laid out the fast story.
Well, you'd have an interesting story. Some people, everyone thinks they could write a book, but their life's not that interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you have something good.
Thank you. Thank you. You're right.
Aw. Well, awesome.
Appreciate
Well, I guess you guys, I think we're good on the questions there, but now you have, like you said, you could message me or message Jason on Facebook if you just find him, Jason Foersch. And I will be replaying this, and hopefully we'll just spread the message. And if anyone needs help and recovering and things like that, they could reach out to you if they need to talk.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I'm
awesome. Here. Also, anything else? Do you have any closing? I like to ask. You're my third guest. I only had 3 so far, but I say it at the end. Any closing words or anything else you want to say to the people watching, or anything, whatever you want?
Just keep God first. That's it. I mean that. Just keep it short and simple. Just keep God first. As long as you focus on Him. That's what that's what I do now. I have to. No matter what I do, I have to focus on Him.
Yes.
Everything comes before Him. Even my son. Someone's like, He comes before your son. Yes, He comes before my son. If I don't have God, I don't have my son.
Yeah.
I have nothing without Him.
Yeah. Well done. Well done. Very good. Very good. Proud of you. I know I just met you, but very inspiring story. You're brave.
No, thank you. And you too. I'm proud of you. I know that sounds corny saying I don't know you, but I know you grinded to get to where you are. When you told me, I'm sure you weren't happy about playing in bars for 10 years to get to it. You had to grind to get here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a musician, but I know it's not easy. I just know I have musician friends, and I know it's a lot of work.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, yes, we'll be in touch. I'll talk to you probably after.
Absolutely.
Yep, and I'll be in here for a little bit, and then I been drinking a lot of water, so I got to take another break soon.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I gotta go so bad.
Oh, you did great. But again, thank you for sharing your story. It was so wonderful to have you, and we'll have you back someday or sometime, anytime you want to come back.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, guys. All right, I'll remove you here from the screen here. I'm still getting new with this. All right, I'll remove you. All right.
All right.
Thanks, Jason. See you soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Aw. There you go, guys. And there you go. Jason Foersch. Now I'm saying his name correctly. That was awesome. What a great talk that was. I hope you guys had a good time in the chat room. Lots of good questions. I appreciate you guys. White noise with all the hearts. Thank you, Shannon. October 10th. That's my birthday. God bless and all the best. October 10th. Oh, yes. Self-care, Quentin says, self-love, being around like-minded people, faith and trust in God, asking for help. Yeah, all that stuff. You can't do it alone. And like I said, it's a hard world out there. I don't meet a lot of people I could jive or connect with right away. It takes time. So, but there are good people out there. See, we're meeting them here on Hollistics. Here's my, hold on, my pad here. I have my little sound effect. Where is it? I'm always doing the wrong one here. There it is. Do you hear it? There you go. That's my sound. You come to Hollistics. This was a deeper talk. I say, but it's good to come and I'd say forget about life for a while. But, we talk about life, and because life could be could be hard sometimes, but there you go. And we all struggle. Maybe it's not alcohol or drugs for you. Maybe it's something else, because we're all flawed human beings, and it's okay to admit that. It's nice to talk to other people who understand that. So with that said, you guys, I'm going to play a little commercial here, and then I'll come do a little closing thoughts, tell you for what's next on Holistics here. And we will chat. And if there's any other questions in the chat room, I know Jason's gone, but we're going to be replaying this. And like I said, if you guys want to get in contact with them, he said you could find him on Facebook, or if you can't find him and you're like, hey, I want to see him, you could send me an email and I will connect you guys as well. I'm HollisMahady.com. And remember, guys, if you're enjoying the show, tips support the show. And I would appreciate that. Go to buymeacoffee.com, just in case you didn't know.
Are you enjoying the podcast? If you'd like to support what I'm building, you can buy me a coffee. Every bit of support helps me keep this podcast going and release my music independently. You can leave a one-time tip or become a member for a few dollars a month and unlock exclusive content and behind-the-scenes footage you won't find anywhere else. Just visit buymeacoffee.com/HollisMahady or scan the code you see on the screen.
All right, I'm going to see if I could run really quick for a quick break, but this is 1:09. Let's see how fast I can be. Check out this commercial here.
Music has always been such an important part of my life. It's been a constant, a lifeline, a force that shaped who I am. I understand the heart of an artist, those who create not for fortune or fame, but because the music lives inside them, because it's what fills their soul. That's why I created Voice of Freedom Records. Not just as a home for my own music, but as a place where one day others can bring their voices to the world. In a time when algorithms and fleeting trends seem to decide what we hear, we focus on the quality, not just the quantity. We search for music that matters, music that speaks to the heart, that stirs something deep within us, that reminds us what it means to be human. Because at Voice of Freedom Records, it's not just about making noise. It's about making music that moves souls. When you're truly independent, creating music isn't just art. It's devotion. It's late nights, long days, and pouring your own time, energy, and money into something you believe in. Something you feel called to bring into the world. Right now, the world is overflowing with content, music everywhere, so much of it generated in seconds by machines. And somewhere in that noise, real artists are fighting to be heard. The ones who spent years learning their craft, the ones who turned their pain into songs, the ones who kept going when it would have been easier to quit. Most people scroll past without thinking about the soul behind the sound. But if you ever find music that moves you, that heals something in you, that makes you feel less alone, remember, there's a real person behind it. Because good music isn't noise. It's something sacred. If you discover music that speaks to you, support the people who made it, if you can.
Oh, I was on mute. Sometimes I forget. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very excited about Friday. This Friday, May 15th, my single covers will finally be out on all platforms. So stay tuned for that. I'm still trying to find the stupid pre-link save, but at this point, whatever, it's going to come out, and then share it if you like it, guys. That's all I could ask. That's all I asked for. You share it. You're going to like it. I'm excited. And today I was at the music studio. Oh my God, it has been such a journey to get here. And I did some recording, and the audio finally sounds really good. So on my Buy Me a Coffee, in case anyone is interested and doesn't know about it, that's the way I can help. You could help support the show. That's my Buy Me a Coffee there. If anyone's interested, I was telling you about my music collection. I have that. These are all ways you can support the show. I have a handmade lyric sheet. I have a cover song, and I'm recording Barracuda very soon. I did not forget. It is on the list, and I'm very excited. And now that I have my audio finally set up nice, it's going to be a lot easier to do that. So I'm so excited about that. Let me get rid of his lovely comment there just for a second. That's my buymeacoffee.com community, and that's where you're going to see all those behind the scenes footage and videos that I'm not sharing anywhere else. I did a performance of Amnesia today. That's going to be my second single, and that's for my Buy Me a Coffee community. And thank you all so much for those who you have already supported me in there, like a Joe and Aaron and Timothy and Smeriglio. Love you guys, and everyone else and Shannon. Thank you guys for everything. I truly, truly appreciate it. And that's how you can help me. I really appreciate it. GoodBuyMeACoffee.com/Hollis or go right to my website. Again, this is completely independent. I'm an independent person. No one pays me to do this. And it actually costs money to do this. So any kind of tip or a coffee always helps support the show so I can pump out more content just like you saw tonight. And I could do even more show and more guests. So now, speaking of that, I have to get some more guests on the show because Jason was my last guest that I had lined up, but I have some other things in the works. And if anyone's out there watching and would like to be a guest on the show, go to my website, hollis.mahady, send me an email if there's something, a good cause you're working on, or you have a book coming out, or you're a musician yourself and you have a story you want to tell that you think needs to be heard. I have an audience here. There's people listening. There's people chatting and watching. So just let me know. You could send me an email on my website, and don't forget to sign up for the email list. I haven't sent that many emails out, so don't worry. I don't spam you guys, but if I do send them out, I'd love to get a response. But, people are so crazy and hectic in this world. People don't take the time to read an email, but I get it. Because I don't read every email I get either. So, but I try. So if you see an email from me and you like my music, maybe reply and say, "Hi, Hollis. Thank you. Thank you for the music you're putting out. I enjoy it. How have you been?" Because I would love to talk to. I sent out an email to 600-700 people and I don't get one response. My sister did respond to me though, and she said congratulations, and I really appreciated that. She's probably not watching, but maybe she'll see this someday. So thank you. It means a lot to go that little extra step and let me know I'm not sending out emails to a bunch of robots, because I know some of the people on the list and nobody ever responds or writes back or says anything. So next time you look at an email, not just mine, think about that. Think about the person behind the email, because I spend a lot of time on these emails. At one point, you're just going to say, well, screw it. I'm not going to send any emails. I'm going to start a new list for people who actually care and respond, because there's not that many. So we got to get some new friends rolling here. But I know all the people in the chat room do appreciate, and they respond, and I appreciate it. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. Jatrusa says still here. Well done. Great show. Love you, Hollis. Great show. Aw, thank you, Shannon. I love you too. I appreciate you guys all. And thank you for chatting. It always makes it better. You have some great questions here. I'm sorry I didn't see all the comments. Oh, I saw them. I wouldn't put all them on the screen, but I was trying to make sure I got everybody up there. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions or anything for guests, or what would you like to see on Hollistics? I am, it's been, I'm not going to lie, I'm a real person. It's difficult sometimes to find the time to do it all, because it's a lot of, since I do everything myself, it's a lot of behind the scenes doing stuff that you just have to do in order to make it technically work. Even like tonight, I was so relieved when it was only like 5 minutes before the thing started working. I was like, oh, thank God, But if there's any, like I said, any suggestions for shows you have, or topics or themes you would want to hear about, we cover a lot on this show. We talk a lot about AI and music and creative industries. Obviously, in the last 2 episodes, we talked a lot about addiction and recovery and self-help, self-growth. I mean, I really love, if you haven't noticed, I do love God a lot. I love talking about it but I don't really do, religion or church too much, because spirituality, God, faith, things that mean something. I'm not really here for small talk. If you haven't noticed, we do our TGI Fridays sometimes, and it's kind of fun and lighthearted. But I don't know. There's enough small talk and meaningless bullshit in the world, and shallow, fake people. Here, try to keep it real, because there's, I like real talk, and I think it's needed. I think depth is needed. I think people need love. I think people need connection. I think there's a lot of bullshit in the world. There's a lot of fake people, inauthentic people. And here, I think we're building a little community of people who are real and who do keep it real, and who do like to listen to shows and have questions and concerns, and maybe you can relate to what we're going through, or what other people have gone through. So I think these stories are important to tell. And that's why I loved all my guests. And Chris was, a little bit different with the music, but at the same time, he's struggling, with it. Even his song, Sunny Window. What's about a window? Sunny Window. But, about his dad. It's just a sad, struggling with Alzheimer's, dementia. I mean, these are This is true life stuff. You're not going to find that every day on TikTok or all the other, we keep it real here. We keep it real. So yeah, so I am, now that things have settled on the home front a little bit more. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's been very, very super stressful with moving and losing job and money and this, and you're just wondering if you're gonna be able to pay the freaking rent. And so, you're not like top priority. Let me get all my thing and spend 1 million hours on a show that doesn't pay anything. I got to pay the bills. So that's what happened. But, hopefully we're going to get more stable now, and I'll be able to actually put more research into my shows and a little more time, because I don't like playing replays, but that's life, right? Unfortunately, we said you got to pay the bills too. I always say, do your passion, of course, but if it's not paying, you got to supplement the income somehow, because that's the 3D world and that's the matrix that they make us in. But you know what? We talked about God a lot tonight, and I truly believe in God. And I do believe, I forgot to ask Jason. I think I already know the answer. Do you believe in miracles? Yes, I think he probably does. And I know I do as well. I definitely believe in miracles. I think God is amazing. I love God. I love, this experience. Sometimes it's bad and it seems bad, but I mean, we're human. We're alive right now. This is our time. We're still here. We're still on this earth. We have work to do. If you're still here, we have something to do. If it's a purpose, you don't know what it is, you'll find it. Look for it. Search for it. Like Jason was saying, surround yourself with good people. Try to be the best person you can. No one's perfect. There's always gonna be someone you're comparing yourself maybe to, but don't. Or who's better or this or that. Just work on yourself. Just be better than you were yesterday. That's all you can ask for. Be a better version. Learn from your mistakes. Everything I talk about. Now this is like, and that's not Love Line. What is this? Who am I? You might be too new. Who are you to give me advice? I don't know. I've been through a lot of shit in my life. I've come out on the other side finally, and I sang about it today. The first time with good audio. And I got a new iPad. Things are looking up, guys. Just when you think it's all comes crumbling and crashing down, God is good. Because you know what? I never doubted, never stopped the faith. Yeah, there's time you have doubts like, oh my gosh, what is this? What is this? People dying this. It's a hard world, but we're here to keep it real. So let me know. Is there anyone in the chat? Oh, I forgot to scroll down. Anyone you want, any subjects or anything. If I don't see them, you could always email them to me. Email me anything. But again, keep your eyes open, ears open. If you have any guests in mind, send me a little message. And don't forget, guys, if you were my friend on Facebook and now you're not, because you think, what happened to our account? I'm locked out of it. It sucks. After looking at it, over 21 years, I had this account. So, whatever. Like, I hate social media. I always talk about it. But still, I mean, it's a tool. And so, like I said, the story, it's kind of boring. But if Jamie's still here, you'll appreciate this, Jamie. My ESU email is what I still have for Facebook. hjam7096@esu.edu. And I won't worry. No one's going to hack into it because I can't even get into it because I don't think it exists anymore. And I had signed up for that account in college with that email, with the phone number that I no longer have. So they're sending codes to all different things and I can't get into it. So there you go. I mean, whatever, 5,000 friends. I don't know half of them. No one, I mean, there's some people, there's a lot of people who do, sometimes comment and connect. And I feel bad because I'm trying to add them and it's telling me I can't add people because I don't know them and I could only add 5 people a day. And so I'm still here, guys. So if you really care, or if you see this, not if you really care, but you wonder, I don't know if anyone's going to hear this, share it. Hollis lost your account. Maybe I'll get it back. I'm going to still keep trying. I'm going to try. There's some security. I don't know. They're like, try it this way. Put something you have to buy, a security, I don't know, drive or something. I don't know. I really don't. Anyone else ever had this problem? I was running in circles with it. So I'm not a quitter, but part of me is just like, well, got to start over. I got a new phone. I'm starting over with my new phone. I guess start over with my Facebook. And, I found the people who have commented and I've added them and everything. So maybe, like I said, you need 5,000 friends you don't know, or is it better to have 500 that you talk to and engage? Good besties. I don't know. So anyway, I had such a good show tonight. It was awesome to have Jason on. If you're still watching, but thank you again for coming on. You're welcome back anytime. We got to get like I said, I got to get my phone number and stuff, like a hotline, so people could call in, like old school radio, and say get their questions, because I love your chatting. But it's always nice to hear someone too. But yes, guys, so I will be back. It may be tomorrow. Most likely it will be Wednesday night with a new episode. And I will be planning my next moves of attack, my guests that are going to be next on the show. Yes. And we are doing Ocean to Ocean. What happened? We didn't do it yet. Well, what happened was the microphone was not working and I had to move all this stuff. And look at my hair. Looks like really weird right now, but whatever. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to set up, and we got to get the computers. And so we have very good intentions, and it's coming soon, but I can't wait to get into Ocean to Ocean because that's going to be a lot. Like, I don't really talk about on this show. Obviously, I don't get into politics and all that, but hello, did they just disclose like the UFO, like aliens, all this stuff? Like, we're going to talk about it. Maybe I'll talk about it on the show a little bit, but definitely on Ocean to Ocean because that is our version of Coast to Coast. If anyone knows what that show is, I was a big fan of that show, Coast to Coast. I mean, I didn't listen to it for that long, but when I did listen to it in California and in Las Vegas, I just always liked that show. It's always got into the weird things, and the conspiracies. I don't know. Is it a conspiracy? Oh, you're crazy. You know, I have a life-size alien right over there. Right over there. I have an alien that is life-size. And he lights up, but his battery fell out. His name is Cornelius. And he used to be in Holly's Playhouse. And when I moved, I couldn't leave him behind. So he moved to Maine with us. Amy and Aaron would remember Cornelius, the alien. He helped us at the garage sale. Everyone wanted to buy Cornelius. They didn't say they wanted some of our old stuff, but they wanted the alien. I said, no, he's coming with me. So he's here now. He was in my studio in Cleveland last week. And then I said, for Ocean to Ocean, we got to bring him. We got to get him in the background somehow. So Cornelius will be joining us on Ocean to Ocean. And if you guys are like, what is she talking about? What's Ocean to Ocean? Like it's another podcast I'm going to be doing. And we are going to be doing it this Saturday. We've been saying it. It hasn't happened. We've been changing the day because life happens. But we didn't really, really heavily promote it or put up an event. So it's okay. So I'm sorry, guys. But good things are worth the wait. And let me see if I could find it here. I have the video. I'm going to play it real quick. Ocean to Ocean. Where is it? There it is. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So besides Hollistics, I'm going to be doing some research for this show, Ocean to Ocean, for all those conspiracy theorists out there. This one might be one that you like. Here you go. Take a look.
Ocean to Ocean is your late night portal into the unknown. Hosted by Hollis and Dan Smeriglio as a tribute to the legendary spirit of late night radio, where curiosity leads and nothing is ever off the table. From sea to shining sea, we explore late night mysteries that keep you questioning everything. Bigfoot lurking in the shadows, secrets hidden beneath Antarctica's ice, UFOs, government cover-ups, and truths long buried, psychics, angel readings, and messages from beyond.
But this isn't just a throwback, it's our twist. Real talk, raw curiosity, a little humor, and a fearless dive into the topics most people won't touch. Some nights will make you think, some nights might give you chills, and some might just change the way you see the world. So tune in, stay curious, and keep your mind open, because from ocean to ocean, the conversation never sleeps. Found exclusively on the Voice of the People USA Radio and Television Network.
So there you have it. So that's something to look forward to. That's me Saturday night. And it's really very exciting because I get to do this show with my best friend, who I happen to be married to, which we talked about what Jason said. He met his lovely fiance, soon to be his wife, who was his best friend. And my husband is my best friend. He's the best. He's the best. I love you and I appreciate you so much. And we've been through so much together. And it's going to be awesome to join him on this show. We've been wanting to do a show like this. It went through a couple different names and phases, but this we settled on, and I'm looking forward to doing it. We're just gonna have fun. So it won't be me alone. And so when I forget something that I was talking about, and I say, "What was I talking about?" He could say, "Oh, you were talking about that." I'm like, "Oh yeah," and I can tell him, "Oh, you were talking about that." Because it's nice. It's nice to do a show alone. Good. It's not always alone because you have lovely people in the chat room chatting with me. But, sometimes you're just here by yourself and you feel like you're talking, oh my God, is it people out there? But at least when you have someone with you, it's a different vibe. So we get to do a lot of things. And Smurglio, big shout out to Smurglio. And I don't see Joe in the chat room. I hope Joe's okay. But Joe, thank you for your buy me coffees and Smurglio. I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate you all. I really, really, truly do. Thank you for letting me join you in your living room. Maybe you were in your bathroom. Maybe you were in your kitchen cooking dinner. I'm on the thing. Maybe on one of your tripods. Maybe you put it up, or not your tripod, but your little thing. I got this. This is awesome. I love this. Actually, this is just a little stand where I can put my phone on. Yes, I'm promoting a product. And I keep it right here now. It's really nice. So yeah, I'm getting used to this phone. I'm starting to like it. It does take some time. It's just like anything. It's just something. It's just a new when you know your phone or whatever so good, and you know how. Then you get a new one. You're like, where is it? But you just have to get used to it. So it's definitely a way better camera, and there's some other ease of use I found. So what do you guys? If you're in the chat room, I don't know if anyone's in there, but iPhone or Android, what do you think? What do you think? I looked at my iPhone today. I actually brought it back to the store. Finally, we wiped it, and it's gone. It's gone now. It's so weird. I mean, it's kind of like embarrassing to me. I was like, oh, my phone. But I had to make sure. I had some old voicemails from my dad. I had to make sure I sent to myself and all my pictures and all that stuff. I mean, it's so weird. Oh, my phone. Like, what is wrong with us? I mean, hey, it's not our fault. They did this to us. They got us addicted to these phones. So you just gotta be self-aware with the phones. But that's what we do here on Holistics. We got human connection as well. Take a break from the phones and go, forget the phones for a minute. All right, guys. Well, I guess I went on and on enough. It was a great night. Remember, guys, if you want to support hollismahady.com, sign up for my email list. If you want a true friend or someone who actually cares, because I do care, and I would love an email response one day. I'm going to do it again as like a test and sign it out. Then I was like, maybe I should just send, no, I shouldn't send not mean, but almost an email out like, is there anybody there? Anybody at all? These 700-800 people. Is there anybody who gets this? Anybody? Just like say hi. Cause like, I don't know. They probably think it's just like a group message, which it is. I mean, but there was times I took time and emailed 20 people. No one wrote back. So, what do you do? I don't know. That's the world we live in, guys. You got to stay positive. Yes, we stay positive here. Because that is just the world, and people are overwhelmed, and there's like a million zillion emails that's sent on a day. How could you possibly keep up with them all? It's very difficult. That's why I say, pick a few people to support. Like we support Chris on this show. We support Jason and Jessica. Now all our guests that come on, we help each other. That's all we can do. So with that said, I think I did everything. One more time, just for good measure. Is that the word? I don't know, because I have to promote it. My album, A Comedy of Errors, is in the works and is coming out sometime this year, maybe next year. But don't worry, my single's coming out Friday. Oh, there I am. Isn't that cool? That's going to be out. That was me. I wrote it. I recorded it. I produced it. I paid for it. I own it. No one owns my music. And they never will. I own it. Voice of Freedom Records, ladies and gentlemen. I give myself applause. Why not? I think, it's okay. It's okay. Congratulate yourself. I worked hard on this. Very, very hard. Thank you, Hollis. Thank you. And for all of you guys out there, in case no one told you today, in case no one reminded you, you are not alone. You are loved. God loves you. You are loved. And if you're doing something out there, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a creative person, or whatever you are, if you're a parent, if you need just a boost, maybe you had a shitty day. I hope it got a little better. I hope maybe something we said here today maybe helped you a little bit. I'm always here to tell you, don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. That was it's inspiring story, a sad story with Jason that he got to that point, about not wanting to live and all that. It's so sad. So you're never alone. You're never truly alone. I know it feels like it sometimes, but there are other people out there. Hang on, because like his powerful, inspiring story, he turned his life around, and it's not easy. I'm sure he still has hard days. I'm sure I have hard days. As much as we put on our smiley face, hey, it's not always pretty behind the curtains. And I know everyone can relate to that. So just know you're never alone. It's okay to ask for help. Reach out to someone. He's there now. You met someone. He said you could email or find him on Facebook. Email me. But yeah, you're never truly alone. And really, God is good, and he's there. He's there. You just gotta look, and you gotta listen, and you gotta have faith. So, in case you didn't get a round of applause, this one's for you. All right, guys. Well, I'm Hollis Mahady. I'm your host. You've been listening and watching Hollistics. I hope you guys all have a good night. I will be back with a new episode, most likely on Wednesday night. Probably tomorrow I might do a replay. Probably will. I'm thinking I'm going to re-air Jessica's episode. And if you didn't get her book, make sure you check it out. Check it out piece by piece. I still have it up there. Let me put it up there. I promote. It's a great book. I read it and I loved it. Do I still have it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. There she is. Piece by piece. Go ahead. Piece by Piece by Jessica Gailey. That's right up there on Amazon. And of course, Must Kill Chris. I got to get his picture back up here. I don't know. I had to delete one of them to put the new one in. But Must Kill Chris, he has a awesome album out there. Good people. And of course, Jason from tonight. So thank you again. That was our guest. Here, I'll play it one more time. There you go. That was Jason Foersch, like the Porsche, but with an F. And you know him now. You met him. You heard his story. So there you go. Aaron says, looking forward to Ocean on Saturday night. Yes, I will see you there. We will be there this time. We are ready. And I can't wait. I can't wait to talk about everything we're going to talk about. There's a lot of stuff going on in this world. It's a crazy world. But yeah, in the meantime, tomorrow is going to be a replay of Jessica's interview in case you missed that. And then I will be live Wednesday night for a new episode of Hollistics. So tomorrow I'm going to get some stuff together for that for Wednesday night. All right, you guys. Well, hope you all have a lovely, lovely evening. Stay well, stay careful, and I will see you guys all very soon. Take care of yourself, and I guess that's it. I guess I'll shut up now, and I'll play the ending song. This one's called Lights. All right? Here we go. Play outro. My phone's beeping. Ah. All right, guys. I'm Hollis Mahady, and you've been watching Hollistics. Have a good night.
Thank you for watching Hollistics, hosted by me, Hollis Mahady. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to share it with someone who might need it too. And if you'd like to support the podcast, you can visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis Mahady. You can make a one-time donation or become a member for just a few dollars a month to get extra podcasts and exclusive behind-the-scenes content you won't find anywhere else. Or simply scan the code on the screen. Your support truly means the world to me and helps me continue creating independent content for you. If you like the music featured in this show, I license it through Epidemic Sound. You can head over to hollismahady.com, click on the podcast page, and use my link for a free trial. And don't forget to check out VOPUSARadio.com, where I host my music channel and am building a growing community of independent musicians. If you're interested in joining the network, just click Join Network and submit an application. Until next time, remember that you are loved and never alone. From human to human, big hugs. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy the outro video. I love this song.
Lights shining from the window late at night. I'm just watching someone else's life go by, wishing it was mine. Dreams, everybody has them at the start. Somewhere along the way they fall apart, and it makes it kind of hard to look up at the lights. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I can finally see what looking back at me. Hold, try your best to hold on to the rope. We all have a reason to let go, and it's easier to do, but it's better if we don't. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I can finally see what it's all about. Standing in the mirror, when the lights go out, it's you looking back at me. When you wish upon a star just to find out it's a plane, and when you think you've come so far, but you're standing still again, and you finally understand. When the lights go out, everything is clear. When the lights go out, I could finally see. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I could finally see what it's all about. Standing in the mirror, when the lights go out, it's you looking back at me. Hold, try your best to hold on to the rope. We all have a reason to let go, and it's easier to do, but it's better if we